Chapter 211. This girl is indeed beautiful, but she's too scheming. Sun Suyun took the chance to remind Mama Sheng. She just wants to see the world in chaos. Sometimes, I really love and hate her. If she is like Roy, we will not have to worry about her. Grandpa Sheng was about to lose his temper when he heard that. But, Mama Sheng smiled and said to Grandpa Sheng, children should look different. If they all look the same, the world will be in chaos. Let's go to the dining room. We can talk while we eat. Huang Yu saw that Grandpa Sheng was unhappy. So, she said to Mama Sheng enthusiastically. All right. Chi-Chi, come and sit with me. Mu Chi-Chi did not say anything. But, she felt relieved. Because Xiao Xiao knew his mother well. So, why would she not believe him? Sun Suyun tried to sow discord but she failed. So, she looked at Shenrui. Shenrui despised her mother at that time. Because her mother was always stirring up trouble everywhere. Soon, they sat down in the dining room of the Shen family. Mama Sheng and Mu Chi-Chi sat together. She could not help but ask her, I heard that you are studying forensic science. Why would a girl like to do that kind of work? Grandma passed away in the past. She was wrongly accused as a murderer. But, no one could speak up for me. No one could help her. From then on, I felt that there might be many people like her in this world. So, I went to study forensic science. Mu Chi-Chi answered Mama Sheng honestly. I've also heard about this matter. That sister of yours, that younger sister of hers is living a miserable life now. Sun Suyun was good at picking the right time to interrupt. Although her sister is cruel and wrongly accused her sister, Chi-Chi, didn't you take revenge on her in the end? Now, she doesn't even have enough to eat. No one will think that you are mute even if you don't talk. Grandpa Sheng could not stand it anymore. He lost his temper at Sun Suyun. Xiao Qin, come and see Chi-Chi. What made you unhappy? Why did you sow discord? And in front of so many people? And in front of me? Do you think that I am dead? Old Master Shen was furious. Sun Suyun managed to withstand the pressure. She smiled and said, am I not telling the truth? In my opinion, both the Shen and the Xing family should be careful. After all, you can't judge a book by its cover. Third aunt, Mu Chi-Chi could not bear it anymore. She wanted to retaliate but Mama Sheng stopped her. She held her hand and turned to Sun Suyun. Well said. You may know a person's face, but you don't know his heart. At first, I didn't want to bring this matter to light. But now, Suyun, it seems that you're a little untactful. Let's not talk about Mu Chi-Chi first. You came to the Xing family with bad intentions to make irresponsible remarks about me. Don't you think you have no sense of propriety? Sun Suyun did not expect that Mama Sheng would side with Mu Chi-Chi. As for the things you said, I can easily find out what the situation is. Do I need you to teach me? Afraid that I'll be tricked? My son has been in Jianchuan for so many years, has he ever been deceived by anyone? If he can trust someone, it's enough to prove Mu Chi-Chi's character. Don't tell me that I don't even trust my own son and trust you. Do you think that everyone is like you? That they will fall into your trap as long as they provoke you? Actually, I shouldn't say anything in such an occasion in the Shen family. After all, my identity is not suitable. But, as my junior and Mu Chi-Chi's elder, what did you do? What did you say? What did you say? What did you do? What did you say? Sun Suyun's face darkened. Because Mama Sheng's words were starting to sound harsh. You keep saying what Mu Chi-Chi did to you and how she bullied you. But, from what I see, you're always trying to sow discord. How is it possible for you to be bullied? Sun Suyun clenched her fists after she heard the lecture. She sounded a little angry. I'm just being kind. Is it worth for you to join hands to scold me? It's better to be sensible. After Mama Sheng said that, she turned around and looked at Grandpa Shen. Grandpa Shen, Please don't blame me for being harsh today. Grandpa Shen waved his hand after he heard that. It's just that we're not strict enough. Mama Xing did not say anything more about Sun Suyun. She turned around and looked at Mu Qiqi. She said, if you're bullied like this again in the future, you can tell Jingyun. Beautiful aunt will help you to seek justice. Okay. Mu Qiqi nodded her head. Sun Suyun was furious. But she could not do anything. She could only stare at Mu Qiqi fiercely. You're such a disgrace. Get out of here. Grandpa Shen did not want Sun Suyun to stay at the dining table. He did not want to spoil everyone's mood. So, he asked Sun Suyun to leave. Sun Suyun was embarrassed and angry now. So, she could only leave the dining table. Shen Rui, who was sitting at the side, did not react at all. She did not say a word. Because she felt that her mother had embarrassed her. Whatever she said now would only make her feel disgusted. But it was all her mother's fault. She did not live up to her expectations. Why could she not control her mouth? I did not expect that third daughter-in-law would go to someone else's house and gossip about them. I don't know where to put my face now. Mama Sheng could understand it. No matter from which angle she looked at it, it was not wrong. Old Shen, Qiqi is under Xing Zhao's protection. So, as a mother, I will not cause trouble for my son. So, I will take care of Qiqi more. It's not appropriate for me to interfere with the Shen family's affairs as an outsider. So, if Sun Suyun did not come to the Xing family today, I would not have said so much. Qiqi saved Xing Zhao's life. So, she is the Xing family's benefactor. So, no matter what happens in the future, if Qiqi is in trouble and needs help from the Xing family, just let me know. Grandpa Shen laughed after he heard that. Who would dare to bully her when the Xing family is protecting her? She is a smart girl. Maybe she knows that her backer is here today. So, she did not say anything. Grandpa, all right. I won't laugh at you. Grandpa Shen waved his hand. Then, he said to Mama Sheng, eat more. If you want to see this child in the future, you can ask her to go to the Xing family. You don't have to be so polite like today. Mama Sheng laughed too. She looked like a heroine. Mu Qiqi looked at Xiao Xiao's mother from the side. She felt that Mama Sheng must be an extraordinary woman to be able to raise a son like Xiao Xiao. Chapter 212. Soon, the dinner ended in a joyful atmosphere. The Shen family sent Mama Sheng to the door. Of course, Mu Qiqi was one of them. She really liked Xiao Xiao's mother as much as she liked Xing Xiao. So, this was fate. Somehow, Mama Xing felt a strong sense of love for Mu Qiqi. It was as if she was doting on her own son. Mu Qiqi had a tenacity that refused to admit defeat. It was obvious that it came from Xing Zhao's teachings. She knew her son best. It was not easy for the little girl. So, she was on Mu Qiqi's side tonight. Another reason was that Sun Suyun was really annoying. All right. Let's stop here. Jianchuan is such a small place. It's easy for us to meet each other. Then, beautiful aunt, please be careful on your way home. Xiao Qin, I won't send you off. Mama Xing shook her head. She pointed at the car that was parked in front of Xing Mansion. Please wait. Qiqi, let Xing Xiao bring you to visit Xing Mansion if there's a chance. Okay. Mama Xing smiled. Then, she got into the car and left. At that moment, she was not suspicious of her son at all. Because she had always believed that a witch would fall from the sky to subdue someone like Xing Xiao. He would not be interested in someone like Mu Qiqi, who would let him train her. Therefore, Mama Xing did not think too much about their relationship. She would not know that her son had another family outside. Mu Qiqi felt a little guilty when she saw Mama Xing leaving. Xiao Xiao's mother was such a good person. But, she bit the hand that fed her. She dragged Xiao Xiao into hell. If their relationship was exposed one day, what would happen to the people who cared about them? Sheng Zhao's mother is still a heroine even after so many years. Grandpa Shen could not help but sigh. Xiao Qi, you will have one more support in the future. Behind them, Shen Ruoyi's face turned pale. She did not expect that Mama Sheng would not look at her at all. Her attention was all on Mu Qiqi. She knew that her mother was in trouble tonight. So, she could not say anything to please her. But even so, she was still better than Mu Qiqi. Luckily, the Sheng family is knowledgeable. They will not be fooled by a few words. Otherwise, it would be Cin Suyun's game tonight. Huang Yu put her hands behind her back and sneered. Father, I really don't understand. Why does third daughter-in-law always treat Mu Qiqi as a thorn? What did she do to her? Grandpa Shen could not hold back his anger anymore. He walked back to the living room and said to Shen Ruoyi, ask your mother to come here. Grandpa Qiqi. Shen Ruoyi's face turned pale. But she could only do as she was told. When she arrived at her mother's house, she pushed the door open and told her mother, Mom, Grandpa is looking for Qiqi. Don't you want to settle the score with me because of what happened just now? Cin Suyun sneered. She got up from the sofa and walked to the living room of the Shen family. Qiqi of the family. Shen, Qiqi, Sheng and Zhao's and Qi, Sheng's and Zhao's Qi of Qiqi of the Yen and said. Do you still need to be interrogated after what you did? Grandpa Sheng placed his hands on his knees and snorted coldly at third daughter-in-law. For the sake of future troubles, let's make our stand clear today. What exactly do you want? Let's make it clear to each other. Dad, are you trying to scare me? Cin Suyun tilted her head and looked at Mu Qiqi. She walked up to her. The Shen family has been in a lot of trouble recently because of this bastard. Who is to blame for what happened to the Shen family? You have a share in it too. Grandpa Shen shouted angrily, if you want to stay in this house, then stay. If you don't want to stay, then get out. Let me be frank with you today. If you do something like this again in the future and cause trouble outside, then get out of the Shen family immediately. I'm not joking with you. I know what you're thinking. Let me tell you, Cin Suyun. If you continue to go against me, you'll get nothing in the end. Cin Suyun tried hard to hold back her tears. But she could not say anything. It was because she knew that if she spoke now, it would only benefit second brother's family and that bastard. Humph. She would not admit defeat. Although she could not say anything, she could still look at Mu Qiqi with hatred. Huang Yu saw the scary look in her eyes. So, she dragged Mu Qiqi away. Xiao Qi, ignore her. Go back and rest. I'll send you home. It's okay, second aunt. I can go back by myself. Mu Qiqi shook her head. But before that, Mu Qiqi still had something to say to Cin Suyun. Third aunt, since you've said so much today, I'll say something too. I can tolerate you, but it doesn't mean that I'm afraid of you. I've dealt with all kinds of bitches before. Why should I be afraid of you? What happened today is the last time. If something like this happens again in the future, I won't need Grandpa to say anything. I'll make you suffer. Based on what you said, I'm just a bastard. Since I have nothing, I'm not afraid of going against you. I can lose everything. But what about you? Cin Suyun smirked. She looked at Mu Qiqi mockingly. Obviously, it was a provocation. Let's wait and see. Mu Qiqi did not stay in the Shen family for long. After she informed Grandpa Shen, Huang Yu sent her to the door. But before she left, Mu Qiqi asked Huang Yu, second aunt, did third aunt go to the hospital recently? Or, does she have a medical background? How do you know? Her big brother is a famous surgeon. So, it's easy for her to get the medicine. So, do you still suspect that it's third aunt and Shen Ruoyi who did it? Huang Yu asked. Second aunt, I hope that you can keep an eye on this matter. If it's really the mother and daughter, I'll make them pay for it. Don't worry. Huang Yu nodded. Go back and rest early. Thank you, second aunt. Mu Qiqi turned around and left the Shin family. Third aunt and her family were crying in the room. Especially Cin Suyun. She was so furious that she almost fainted this time. Not only her, but Shen Rui also realized that what her mother said made sense. Mu Qiqi's status in the Shin family was seriously threatened by her. As long as Mu Qiqi was around, no one would see Shen Rui. She was obviously more outstanding than Mu Qiqi. She could not spoil Mu Qiqi like this in the future. After the chaos of the day, Mu Qiqi threw herself into Xing Zhao's arms when they reached home. Xing Zhao put down the documents and hugged Mu Qiqi. He kissed and comforted her. Chapter 213. Xing Zhao answered softly. Your mother is such a good person. But I lied to her. I feel so sorry. Mu Qiqi buried her head in Xing Zhao's arms and said, I like her very much, just like how I like you. Xing Zhao hugged Mu Qiqi tightly when he heard that. He said gently, do you think she has never been through a lot? When the Xing family was being threatened, she even raised a knife to negotiate with them. Do you think she will still be afraid of you? At that, Mu Qiqi poked her head out of his arms. Your mother has such a tough side to her. I will tell you about it later. Xing Zhao kissed the top of her head and patted her butt. Let's go and take a bath. Mu Qiqi stood up from his arms. Then, she turned around and asked, aren't you coming with me? Xing Zhao's eyes brightened. He put down the documents in his hands and stood up. Then, he hugged Mu Qiqi horizontally. Since the little one had invited him so warmly, he would certainly not reject her. Then, the two of them put on a show in the bathroom. After they were done, they lay in the bathtub. Mu Qiqi leaned on Xing Zhao's chest and laughed. What are you laughing at? I'm laughing at my cousin, Shen Rui. She dressed up like a celebrity tonight. I know she wants to show off to your mother, but my mother will not even look at her. Xing Zhao half closed his eyes. He looked sexy and lazy. So, I told you not to worry. Mu Qiqi hugged Xing Zhao tightly, as if afraid that such happiness would disappear. It was precisely because Xing Zhao's mother was a good person that she felt even more guilty. And the more guilty she felt, the more she cherished her happiness. Xing Zhao felt that Mu Qiqi was hugging him harder. He guessed that she must be thinking about her mother again. If you keep thinking about it, I will have to do it myself. Mu Qiqi shook her head when she heard that. No, I'm tired. If you really want to know how my family will react when they know about our relationship, you can find someone to do the experiment. Who? Your father. As Xing Zhao spoke, he took out a towel and carried Mu Qiqi out of the bathtub. The weather was getting colder. He did not want his little one to catch a cold. But what if Dad tells Grandpa? Do you think someone as smart as your father would do such a stupid thing? Mu Qiqi shook her head. If I were 20 instead of 18, I might tell Dad that I'm in love with you and we're living together. But I'm too young, and I don't have enough bargaining chips. Since it's useless to talk about these things, why are you still thinking so much? Aren't you afraid of exhausting yourself to death? Xing Zhao hooked her chin and kissed her gently. What should I do, little one? Although you're very tired, I still want you. Looking at Mu Qiqi's reaction, Xing Zhao suddenly regretted arranging this meeting to let Mu Qiqi know what kind of person her mother was. The burden on the little thing's mind was already very heavy, and now, with the addition of guilt, he was afraid that he would soon be unable to straighten his back. He was not afraid that the little one would give up, but he felt sorry for the shackles that the little one had to carry. So, the first thing he needed to do now was to get rid of Shen Rui. So, the next morning, Xing Zhao called Jing Yun. Invite Shen Rui to work in Huangyao. She doesn't care about the position or the job. But, let her be the center of gossip, and she won't be able to get in touch with me. Young master, this is make her completely give up on me. Always arrange some good scenes for her, so that she will be completely disillusioned with me. I understand. Jing Yun nodded. In other words, he wanted to ruin the image of the devil Xing Xiao in Shen Ruoyi's heart. That's easy. Please wait for my good news, young master. Go and hint to Mom, so that no one in Huangyao will trouble you when you're working. Jing Yun received the order and went to look for Mama Sheng. He told her that Xing Xiao had asked her to arrange an acquaintance to work in Huangyao, but it would not take long. Mama Xing frowned and asked Jing Yun for the reason. Sure enough, Jing Yun hinted to her. Madam, when you went to the Shen family yesterday, did you notice anything unusual besides Miss Chi-Chi? For example? For example, someone is trying to please you or something like that. Are you talking about Rui? Is she? Mama Xing did not continue, but Jing Yun took over the conversation. Although I'm not sure, young master does not want to cause any trouble. So, I have to deal with it immediately. Okay. Mama Xing nodded. Just do it. I'll inform the department. But, don't let it affect Huang Yao too much. Don't worry, madam. I know what to do. Xing Zhao's purpose was to solve this problem. But, Shen Ruoyi did not know that she was in someone else's game. She was waiting for Jing Yun to invite her. Then, she would be so happy that she would go crazy. Of course, Xing Xiao would report it to Mu Qiqi in advance. Before Mu Qiqi went to school, he hugged her from behind and said, Shen Ruoyi, I've arranged for her to work in Huangyao. Huh? Mu Qiqi was puzzled. Don't worry. She won't have any chance to get close to me. But, she will know a lot of gossip about me. Soon, she will hate me. She might even be afraid of me. Mu Qiqi understood what Xing Xiao meant. She nodded. Then, don't be too cruel. I can imagine how Shen Ruoyi will be dancing in joy. I just want to tell you in advance. Don't mess with me because of this. Mess with me? Mu Qiqi wiped her face and pretended to be ignorant. Xiao Xiao, you are the smartest man in the world. She was good at making people fall for her. She was the one who made him fall for her. In fact, Jing Yun was a man of action. He got the order from Xing Xiao in the morning. He went to the Shen family in the afternoon and invited Shen Ruoyi to work for him. Of course, Shen Ruoyi's major was useless in Huangyao. So, Jing Yun racked his brains and thought of many ways to find a department that was suitable for Shen Ruoyi. When Shen Ruoyi knew about it, she was really excited, like what Mu Qiqi said. She did not expect that happiness would come so soon. Chapter 214. Shen Ruoyi was very excited. But Sun Suyun did not know why her daughter was so excited. The Xing family is not inviting you to be the CEO. You are just a director. Why are you so happy? My daughter. Mom, I am still young. I don't have much working experience. It is good enough that the Xing family is willing to give me this opportunity. Shen Ruoyi did not want her mother to disturb her. Even if she could not see Xing Xiao every day, it was better than getting close to Mu Qiqi. You are the young lady of the Shen family. Why do you always belittle yourself? You should learn from Mu Qiqi. She is the best when it comes to overestimating herself. Shen Ruoyi did not want to listen to her mother's nagging anymore. So, she pushed Sun Suyun out of the room. Mom, I want to take a nap. You should go out now. Why does this child always flatter the Xing family? Sun Suyun was puzzled. So, she recalled Shen Ruoyi's behavior from the moment she came back to the family. She tried to get close to Mu Qiqi and flattered her. Moreover, she flattered Mama Sheng last night. She said that she was not interested in the young master of the Lin family. Could it be that her daughter liked the Xing family? Sun Suyun covered her mouth when she thought of the possibility. Then, she pushed the door open again. Mom, what's wrong? Sun Suyun closed the door carefully. She made sure that there was no one around. Then, she asked Shen Ruoyi, Daughter, tell me honestly. Do you like Xingxiao? Shenrui did not expect that her mother could guess her thoughts. She tried to evade the question. What are you talking about? You are my daughter. Don't I know you well? How could you be interested in such a job normally? But, you agreed immediately when Huang Yao asked you to go there. Moreover, you dressed up like a celebrity last night. Who are you trying to flatter? More importantly, I asked you before. Why do you like Muqiqi? Why did you buy her a present? Your target is Xingxiao, isn't it? Shenrui knew that she could not hide it anymore. She pulled Sun Suyun and said, Mom, lower your voice. You are too bold. How dare you dream of becoming the young mistress of the Xing family? Moreover, it is Xingxiao. Don't you know how scary Xingxiao is? Most importantly, you can't let your grandfather know about this. Otherwise, he'll kick you out of the house. Mother, if I marry into the Xing family, do you still need these things from the Xing family? There's no need to care about him at all. So, Mom, help me. Help me get him. But that's Xingxiao. Do you think any random woman can move his heart? Anyway, I can't help you with anything. Sun Suyun was very sure about this. If she was not careful, she would be in trouble. Okay. Actually, I didn't expect you to really help me, but... Mom, please don't interfere with me. Don't stop me from finding my own happiness. Sun Suyun sighed helplessly when she saw the determination in Shenruo's eyes. She could have fallen in love with anyone else. Why did she fall in love with Xingxiao? Did Shenrui not know that he was a devil? Sigh. He's really hopeless. After that, Sun Suyun left her daughter's room. It was because she really could not help Xingxiao. Shenrui could still get close to Xingxiao through work. But what about Sun Suyun? He could only go through Muqiqi, but their relationship now was clearly as incompatible as fire and water. Jing Yun had arranged everything perfectly. That night, Shenrui discussed with Grandpa Shen that she was going to work in Huangyao. Grandpa Shen felt strange. Why did Jing Yun want to look for Shenrui and not someone else? But he did not object when he saw that Shenrui was in high spirits. Go ahead. It's good to train more. But, Grandpa Shen called Jing Yun behind their backs. What's your young master doing? Why did he ask Roy to work in Huangyao? Old Shen, Miss Roy is a talented person. Moreover, it's Madam's suggestion. It has nothing to do with young master. Jing Yun knew how to push the blame to others. So, he managed to get away with it. Grandpa Shen thought that perhaps Mama Sheng wanted to comfort third brother and his family so that Shenrui would not be so sad. Moreover, Shenrui would not be at home often. It would reduce the conflicts in the family. Grandpa Shen did not think about it at all. He even told Shen Jianchuan about it when he went to see him in the afternoon. Shen Jianchuan was not as inflexible as Grandpa Shen. From the situation, he could feel that Shenrui liked Xingxiao. As for Xingxiao's action, he did not understand it. If Xingxiao did not like Shenrui, why did he ask her to work in Huangyao? But, if Xingxiao liked Shenrui, what would happen to Muqiqi? Young people nowadays are getting more and more incomprehensible. Since you can't understand it, let the young people do it. Shen Jianchuan did not tell Grandpa Shen anything. Don't ask him how he knew about it. Sometimes, the relationship between people did not need to be told. He just wanted to recover as soon as possible and go back to protect his daughter. He did not care if it was Sun Suyun or Shenrui. As long as they bullied his daughter, they must get lost. But, although he could speak now, he was still a disabled person. There was not much he could do to help his daughter. Especially, Muqiqi did not tell him anything. At night, Muqiqi went to the hospital to visit Shen Jianchuan. Seeing that her father was resting, she wanted to leave. But, Shen Jianchuan opened his eyes and looked at his daughter. Chi-Chi, we have known each other for a long time. But, we have not talked to each other properly. Is there something that you should tell me? Is it about the Shen family? If you want to tell me about the meeting with the beautiful aunt 2 days ago. Do you know that Shen Ruoyi is going to work in Huangyao? Shen Jianchuan went straight to the point. Mu Qiqi nodded. Do I have to tell you this? I know. What's wrong? But, my daughter, why are you not sad? Shen Jianchuan looked at Mu Qiqi and smiled gently. Dad, isn't Xing Xiao your boyfriend? Shen Jianchuan asked tentatively. Mu Qiqi's eyes widened immediately. Xing Xiao? Actually, it's easy to guess. You have Xing Xiao's name tattooed on your ear. And you said that you have a boyfriend. But, your boyfriend never showed up. Moreover, which boyfriend would tolerate his girlfriend having someone else's name tattooed on her body? Unless, the owner of the name is your boyfriend. Actually, there are too many clues. Why don't you go back to the Shen family? Why do you insist on staying outside? Why do you prefer to rely on Xing Xiao instead of trusting your family? Although Xing Xiao often uses Jing Yun as a shield, I've heard from your grandfather that he would defend you in all sorts of situations. Chapter 2:15. Shen Jianchuan was really smart. He was good at observing people's expressions and deducing their thoughts. But, his prediction was so accurate. Mu Qiqi lowered her head after listening to Shen Jianchuan. She asked, Father. Do you know? When I was the most helpless in my life, it was Xiao Xiao who pulled me back, gave me a new home, and taught me how to fight back against the world bit by bit. So, I can't help liking such a person. I used to think that I was biting the hand that fed me. I fell in love with my savior. I knew that there were many obstacles between us. I knew it. Do you think I didn't restrain myself? I've thought about it, but when I found out that Xiao Xiao knew everything yet he still loved me so much, I couldn't help myself anymore. Mu Qiqi could not help tearing up at that. It was only after that I found out about my birth and my identity. But Xiao Xiao and I are inseparable now. Shen Jianchuan wanted to wipe Mu Qiqi's tears away. She was his beloved daughter. Silly girl, you can tell me if you feel uncomfortable. I know how it feels to grow old with someone. Are you afraid that I will interfere with you? I am afraid. Mu Qiqi said honestly. After all, Xiao Xiao and I are in different generations. To your father, seniority is the most useless thing. As long as that brat treats you well, as long as he truly doesn't let go of my daughter's hand, even if I have to risk my life, I will make my daughter happy. Father. Mu Qiqi threw herself into Shen Jianchuan's arms and cried. So, tell me. What happened to Shen Ruoyi? Mu Qiqi was done crying. She poked her head out of Shen Jianchuan's arms and said, it was Xiao Xiao's plan. He knew that Shen Ruoyi was interested in him. So, he arranged Shen Ruoyi to work in Huangyao. Then, he put on a show so that Shen Ruoyi would give up. Don't worry. Shen Ruoyi's department will never have the chance to see Xiao Xiao. If this bastard dares to hurt you, I will kill him. He won't. I owe him all this while. He loves me so much. But, I can't give him anything. Silly girl, you can give him happiness. He is the crown prince of Huangyao. He has everything. But, what he lacks is the happiness you can bring him. That night, the father and daughter talked a lot. And Shen Jianchuan could really understand why Mu Qiqi would have feelings for Xing Xiao. It was love at 18 years old. In the past, he would not have believed it. But today, seeing his daughter so determined, maybe there would be a miracle. Of course, Xing Xiao was the one who made him look at him in a different light. A man who owned a diamond empire could have any woman he wanted. But, he loved and cared for a little girl. Sometimes, fate was a strange thing. Dad, Father, I thank you for supporting me. You made me. Jiu, the father and daughter looked at each other and smiled. They were one step closer to each other. After the heavy topic was over, Shen Jianchuan told a few jokes to make Mu Qiqi happy. In the future, his most important task was to protect his daughter's happiness. When they walked out of the hospital, Mu Qiqi was a little dazed. She did not hear Xing Xiao honking the horn a few times. So, Xing Xiao got out of the car and dragged her into the black car. "What are you daydreaming about? Dad has long guessed our relationship." Mu Qiqi looked up at him and said, "He didn't blame me. Instead, he encouraged me to pursue my own happiness. Your father is a person who is out of line, and he's so devoted to his daughter. It's not surprising that he would support you." Xing Xiao glanced at her, a hint of a smile flashing across his eyes. "You don't seem surprised that he knows about this. He'll find out sooner or later." With that, Xing Xiao started the car and brought the little one home. After listening, Mu Qiqi could not help but sigh. This was the world of smart people. Everything was understood without words. "Shen Ruoyi will report to Huang Yao tomorrow." "Oh." Mu Qiqi did not say anything else. "That's it? She's not going there to enjoy herself. Should I have a bigger reaction?" Mu Qiqi asked Xing Xiao. Xing Xiao pulled her and chuckled. He should not have a bigger reaction. He might have gone overboard when he teased Shen Ruoyi. He just wanted the little one to watch the fun. Shen Ruoyi was excited for the whole night. Although Cin Suyun thought that her daughter was digging her own grave. The next morning, Shen Ruoyi woke up early and tidied herself up. Then, she reported to Huang Yao on time. At the same time, Shen Ruoyi heard many people saying that they saw the crown prince. But, no one knew where Xing Xiao was. Shen Ruoyi would be excited when she heard Xing Xiao's name. So, even if she could not see him on the first day, she felt that it was worth it to come to Huang Yao. Xing Xiao entered the office from the elevator. He could not help but ask Jing Yun about Shen Ruoyi. She has reported to the office. Now, the personnel are showing her around. Xing Xiao's lips curled into a smile, and there was a hint of a teasing demon in his eyes. "I can give her some big news today." "Okay. I'll go and arrange it now." But, Shen Ruoyi would not know how she would feel when she found out that everything was fake in the future. The personnel manager accompanied Shen Ruoyi around the office. After he received a call, he said to Shen Ruoyi mysteriously, "Since you're a new colleague, I'll tell you something. The department you're working in is the most likely department for the Crown Prince. I heard that the Crown Prince likes the girls in your department the most." "What? What do you mean? Didn't you say that the Crown Prince is not interested in women?" "He is not interested in women. But, he is a pervert. Don't you know? He likes to play games. He always sends the girls to the hospital." Shen Ruoyi did not believe it. It was definitely not Xing Xiao. She did not believe in the gossip in the company. But, in fact, the department had created such an atmosphere to welcome her. You still don't believe it? You'll know when you see it with your own eyes. Some girls even lost their fingers. When they came out of the Crown Prince's office, their hands were covered in blood. Shen Ruoyi was not affected. She felt that those people were exaggerating. At least, in her heart, Xing Xiao had always been so elegant and charming. Although the people said that he was a devil, she still wanted to conquer such a man. Because Xing Xiao was really outstanding. Chapter 216. She was a member of the Shen family. She was not afraid of those rumors. After Shen Ruoyi started working in Huang Yao, Cin Suyun started to think in a new direction. It was because she felt that her daughter was right. If Shen Ruoyi really succeeded and got Xing Zhao's favor, she would become the young mistress of Huang Yao. By then, her daughter would have the final say on how many diamonds and jewelry she wanted. So, she felt that Shen Ruoyi's idea might not be that crazy. But what could she do for Shen Ruoyi? Although she was unwilling, she could only apologize to Mu Qiqi and admit that she was wrong if she really needed Mu Qiqi's help. After all, her daughter's future was more important. As for those bastards, she could tolerate them for the time being. But she did not know that Muchichi could tolerate all the things that she did to Muchichi in the past. But now, the mother and daughter actually wanted to hurt Xiao Xiao. That was her bottom line. She would not allow them to give in. 2 days later, Muchichi went back to the Shin family for dinner. This time, when Sun Suyun saw Muchichi again, she did not look at her with hostility anymore. But, she felt a little awkward. She had been tolerating it for the whole night. When the dinner was almost over, she could not help but say to Muchichi, "Chichi, do you know that Sister Ruoi is working in Huangyao now?" "Why? Are you trying to show off?" Muchichi put down her chopsticks and asked Sun Suyun. "I just want to say that if you meet Xing Xiao, please take care of your sister. I was wondering why her attitude changed so much today. Chichi, it turns out that she has a favor to ask of you." Huang Yu could not help but cross her arms when she saw that. "Sun Suyun, do you really think that everyone in the world is your mother? You can do whatever you want. Everyone has to bow down to you and your daughter. Chichi, you don't have to care about her." Shen Ruoi was much more courageous. Because she believed that as long as she continued to work in Huangyao, she did not need to flatter Muchichi so much. "Mom, I don't need anyone's help for my own matters. Moreover, she is an outsider. How can she help us? Have you forgotten all the previous examples? When I came back, I brought her so many gifts. Did she accept my kindness?" Now that Sun Suyun had restrained herself, Shen Ruoi was being mean again. Did this mother and daughter exchange souls? He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was because Shen Ruoi knew that Muchichi was useless now and she was blocking her way. So, she did not give her any face. "But, I can handle the matters in the company. But, Muchichi, please call me sister the next time you see me. We can't forget the rules. After all, I'm the eldest sister of the Shin family. I'm done eating. Please enjoy your meal." Then, Shen Ruoi left the table and went to her room. "Everyone, please enjoy." Then, Shen Ruoi left the table and went to her room. Sun Suyun chased after him too. The rest of them were confused. Is there something wrong with this mother and daughter? Huang Yu kicked the ladder. But Muchichi could understand what the mother and daughter were trying to do. Judging from Shen Ruoi's attitude, did she really think that she could become a phoenix? She would not object if it was anyone else in the Xing family, but not Xing Xiao. "Chichi, can you tell me why Xing Xiao wants Shen Ruoi to work in Huangyao? It's nothing good. Second aunt, please keep it a secret." Muchichi whispered to Huang Yu. Huang Yu nodded and laughed. "Then, I'll wait for the show." Now, Shen Ruoi is so arrogant. Does she really think that she is a part of the Xing family now? Muchichi did not say anything. She just did not know how long Shen Ruoi could stay in Huangyao. That night, Muchichi went home. She took a shower with Xing Xiao and was about to sleep. But, Qianqian called her before she went to bed. She sounded excited. "Chichi, I have good news for you. I'm not going abroad anymore. I'm going to film." Film? Muchichi never thought that Lu Qianqian would want to be a star. She felt that she was too far away from that circle. "My father's friend runs a film company. He thinks that I look good. So, he asked me to audition. Since you like it, I'll support you. But, I'm worried that didn't those stars have their dark spots exposed before? Nowadays, people often bullied each other on the internet." She did not want her best friend to get hurt. "Don't worry. My agent will take care of it." Qianqian needed something else to divert her attention. Muchichi understood the pain that Duan Shao and brought to her. Since she wanted to be a star, she should go. "Remember to give me your autograph when you become famous." "Of course. You are my best friend." Lu Qianqian was very excited. After the call with Muchichi, she received a call from her agent. It was so late. Her agent was really responsible. Her agent gave her a lot of information. Although it was just a supporting role, she needed to understand the whole story as soon as possible. Moreover, she sent her a book list. These are all the works of this author. Take a look when you are free. Lu Qianqian looked at the titles of the books. She almost rolled her eyes. Men Never Grow Old, Casanova. She flipped through them casually. They were all about flirting with girls. Were they for others to read? Then, Lu Qianqian looked at the name of his family. Lin Muban. What kind of rubbish man was that? Did he treat women as toys? Could the script he wrote be made into a TV series? Lu Qianqian was very disappointed with men because of Duan Shao and now, she still had to read Lin Mu An's rubbish literature. No wonder there was an in it. She must not see this man. Otherwise, she would kick his balls. She did not know that this was the beginning of an ill-fated relationship. She would never remember that the two of them had met once. It was not long ago, when they went shopping together in the afternoon. On the other side, Xing Xiao saw Mu Qiqi staring at her phone. He asked her, "Is Lu Qianqian going to shoot a movie?" "Yes. That's why I'm worried about her. What if her past is dug out? Won't she be hurt a second time?" Mu Qiqi replied in Xing Xiao's arms. "Why can't she do something else? I don't know what Qianqian is thinking. This is the era of making stars. There is nothing that cannot be done. You are thinking too much. Moreover, the Lu family is rich. You don't need to worry about her. Qianqian is my only friend. I am sad to see her hurt. What is the name of the movie she is going to shoot? I will ask Jing Yun to keep an eye on it. It is called Reuniting the Mirror or something. I will check it online." After that, Mu Qiqi took out her phone. After a while, she suddenly sat up on the bed and looked at Xing Xiao. "What is it?" "The scriptwriter and author is Lin Muban." Mu Qiqi looked at Xing Xiao with a strange expression. Chapter 217. In fact, Lin Muban was a man with a very high EQ. Because of his good looks, he had a good relationship with women since he was young. That was why he was proud of himself in love. As long as he made a move, there was no woman he could not get. Of course, he had his own bottom line when he was in love. For example, he would not touch his brother's women, mistresses, or even married men. It was also because of his rich emotional experience that he had written many best-selling books. Currently, he was the most popular male author in the poll. In fact, he did not know that Lu Qianqian would be in the cast before he got the list. But when he saw the recommendation from the film company, he was stunned. Was she a sponsor? I don't think so. Lin Muban refused. But, Editor Lin, she is recommended by an investor. It's hard for us. I said no. Although he liked dating, he was clear about his work and private life. Lu Qianqian was a rich young lady. How dare she audition without any foundation? Who gave her the courage? Then you should talk to the investor. Lu Qianqian was furious when she received the news that she was rejected the next day. The scriptwriter did not want her. Other scriptwriters might not have the right to speak when it came to casting. But now, Lin Muban was popular and his words carried weight. Moreover, it was an adaptation of his novel. The investor had to give him some face. So, Lu Qianqian was very angry. After asking around, she got Lin Muban's phone number from Papa Lu. Holding the phone, Lu Qianqian dialed the annoying number. I'm Lu Qianqian, what can I do for you, Miss Lu? I know you changed my role. I'm not happy with you and want to beat you up. Lu Qianqian said as if venting. You scumbag who writes rubbish literature. You're so shrewd. Didn't you learn your lesson after being hurt so badly? Lin Muban was smiling from beginning to end. But every word he said made Lu Qianqian very angry. I didn't learn it. That's why I want to act in a movie to divert my attention. I'm really interested in acting. Lin Mu smiled and asked her, there's a role of a palace maid. Do you want it? And there's a spy movie that needs a lot of corpses. I want to be your mother. Will you let me? Lu Qianqian asked through gritted teeth. TSK, TSK. If you really want to divert your attention, I have a good job for you. Come and be my assistant. I promise you'll forget everything. Lin Mu, just you wait. After that, Lu Qianqian hung up the phone. This scum. She must take revenge on him. Lin Mu, on the other hand, was laughing from the start to the end. This girl was actually quite interesting. If anyone else was replaced, the first thing they would do would be to call him, either to fight for it or to threaten him. But this girl didn't pester him. She just called him and scolded him to vent her anger. After hanging up, Lu Qianqian recalled that Mu Qiqi mentioned that she went to the Lin family's birthday banquet. Moreover, when she went shopping with Mu Qiqi, she seemed to have seen a man at the entrance of the hotel. At that time, she thought that Mu Qiqi had abandoned the crown prince. But Mu Qiqi told her that it was the young master of the Lin family. Damn, enemies are bound to meet. Thinking of that face, Lu Qianqian immediately became excited and called Mu Qiqi. Qiqi, do you know Lin Mu? Mu Qiqi had just finished her class. When she heard Lu Qianqian mention this name, she knew that the two of them must have known each other's existence. Why did you suddenly mention him? Let me tell you, we are enemies. I must destroy him, because he destroyed my beautiful stardom. Can you help me ask him out? Qianqian, are you sure? Do you know that Lin Mu is a Casanova? Pa. You're afraid that I'll like him? Even if I fell in love with a pig, I would never fall in love with him. He's trash. Qianqian, he and I don't have any grudges. Isn't it a little strange for me to ask him out to vent your anger? Just tell him honestly that I want to see him. It's up to him whether he wants to come or not. She knew Qianqian's temper very well. The firecracker would explode sooner or later. Qianqian had only been a coward when it came to Duan Shao, and after some thought, Mu Qiqi agreed. All right. I'll let you know later. If Xiao Xiao knew that she was going to meet a man alone, wouldn't he smack her butt until it was swollen? So, Mu Qiqi just threw the matter to the man. Anyway, if it was Xing Xiao who asked her out, Lin Mu could not refuse. Lin Mu received a call from Huang Yao in the afternoon. Jingyun told him everything in a few words. Lin Mu did not refuse. Their conversation only lasted for 2 minutes. Then, Mu Qiqi replied to Lu Qianqian and asked her to meet him at the Imperial Hotel at noon tomorrow. In fact, Lin Mu did not need to care about Lu Qianqian's unreasonable request. Even Jingyun said that he was bored. But, Lin Mu felt that Lu Qianqian was a very interesting girl. At least, he did not reject her in terms of feelings. Since Lu Qianqian wanted to go, Mu Qiqi certainly had to accompany her. And since Mu Qiqi was there, Xing Xiao naturally had to show up. His little one was going to meet another man. How could he not follow her? He hated the kind of person who pretended to be generous and told his or her partner that he or she believed her. But in fact, it meant that he or she doubted her. If she minded, he could just accompany her. Why be so pretentious? After a few days of getting used to the new department, Shenruoi had a thorough understanding of the situation in the new department. It was like a center of gossip. There were many rumors about Xing Xiao. Some of them were true, and some were false. She did not know whether she should believe them or not. It was because she could not verify those rumors. But, the only thing she knew was that she knew where Xing Xiao's office was in Huangyao. She wanted to go in and see if Xing Xiao was involved in those scandals. Shenruoi wanted to take action when she had this idea in her mind. Especially in the past 2 days, the idea was very strong. First of all, she had to choose a time when she would not meet Xing Xiao. Secondly, she had to get the access card to enter the office. That was the state of being obsessed with someone. She wanted to know more about him. Even if she could only get a little closer to him, she would be very happy. Mama Sheng had been observing Shen Ruoyi these days. And Jing Yun was right. Shen Ruoyi had been asking about Sheng Xiao everywhere. It was difficult for her not to attract attention. But, if Xiao Er liked her, he would not think of such a way to deal with her. She was the junior of the Shen family after all. She had to be careful when dealing with her. Chapter 218. On the other hand, Shen Ruoyi's every move was under Jing Yun's surveillance. He knew very well who Shen Ruoyi was in contact with in Huang Yao and what she wanted. He knew that Shen Ruoyi was messing with Xing Zhao's office. Getting close to the person you like, isn't it, to confirm whether he has a woman or not? They might be able to find some clues in Xing Zhao's office. If that was the case, he would definitely arrange a good show for Shen Ruoyi. He purposely helped Shen Ruoyi find the cleaner who was responsible for cleaning the office area. Then, he successfully got the access card. It was also an opportunity for Shen Ruoyi to enter Xing Zhao's office. It was already 10:00 at night. All the employees of Huang Yao had left work, but Shen Ruoyi was still working hard. When she was sure that there was no one around, she disguised herself as a cleaner and went to the high-rise area openly. Of course, the important offices were all locked, but Xing Zhao's office was not. Because he never put his important things in his office, and he rarely used them. When Shen Ruoyi entered the modern space, she could feel Xing Zhao's aura everywhere. She sat on the sofa that Xing Xiao had sat on and picked up the cup that Xing Xiao had used. Her heart was filled with excitement. But at that moment, Shen Ruoyi heard a scream. It was a woman's voice. She was so scared that her face turned pale. Then, Shen Ruoyi noticed that it was the private lounge in Xing Zhao's office. She could hear a woman's voice and a man's devilish teasing. Shen Ruoyi was so nervous that she had goosebumps all over her body. She immediately left Xing Zhao's office. She did not care about her image at all. She ran as fast as she could. In fact, Jing Yun was watching a thriller in the lounge, and purposely turned the volume to the loudest. He thought that Shen Ruoyi was brave. In the end, she was terrified. Shen Ruoyi went home in a daze. She locked herself in her room after she got home. She could not believe that she saw Xing Xiao fooling around with a woman. Sun Suyun noticed that her daughter did not even have an appetite for dinner. So, she asked her what happened. Shen Ruoyi shook her head. She did not say anything. After all, she was no longer sure what attitude she had towards him. The next day, as expected, there was a new scandal in the office. I heard that after you got off work last night, an ambulance came again. That's right. I heard that this time, the girl's body was covered in many bloody wounds. It scared me to death. I've always heard that the Crown Prince plays big, but I didn't expect him to treat people like that. Shen Ruoyi's facial expression changed when she heard that. It was because she suddenly remembered what happened yesterday. The woman's scream was still echoing in her head. Director Shen, why do you look so pale? Shen Ruoyi shook her head when she heard her colleague's question. Maybe he did not rest well. Was Xing Xiao really a demon who ate people without spitting out the bones? If that was the case, should she consider giving up? If she insisted on marrying into the Xing family, would Xing Xiao treat her like this in the future? Even if Xing Xiao could restrain himself from doing anything to her, could she tolerate him toying with other girls? Shen Ruoyi was in a dilemma. But she was not willing to give up. So, she decided to go and see what was going on at night. Mama Xing knew that Xing Xiao was trying to ruin his image. So, she said to him before the meeting, if you really don't want to get into trouble, I can help you to get rid of her. Mom, if you really want to make a person give up, you must make her feel fear. How long do you think she can hold on? Xing Xiao answered Mama Sheng while playing with the cufflink in his hand. Since he moved out of the Xing family, this cufflink had become the most valuable thing in Xing Zhao's office. Who the hell gave this to me? You treasure it so much. If you give me such a simple thing, I will treasure it too. Xing Xiao smiled and put the cufflink back into the drawer. Don't drag this matter any longer. Otherwise, it will backfire. I know what I'm doing. Of course, it was Xiao Qi's gift. That was why he treasured it so much. Mama Sheng looked at her son helplessly. Suddenly, she felt sorry for Shenrui. She was such a good girl. Why did she have to fall in love with him? Now, even if she was not scared to death, she would be half dead. When Muqiqi was at home, she did not ask about Shenrui. It was because she was too lazy to do it. As long as they were at home, she and Xing Xiao would stick together no matter what they did. Moreover, Xing Xiao was an energetic guy. He would put on a show in every corner of the house from time to time. She was already very tired from the classes in the morning. She could not sleep well at night. It was strange that she had the energy to care about Shenrui. Since Xing Xiao said that he would take care of it, she would let him do it. At noon, Muqiqi invited Lu Qianqian and Lin Muan for lunch. From the moment they met, Lu Qianqian's eyes were filled with sparks. She wanted to swallow Lin Muan. On the other hand, Lin Muan was smiling. He sat opposite Lu Qianqian elegantly. Xing Xiao was the last to arrive. He sat beside Muqiqi and put his arm on her chair. He was very possessive. The two of them won't fight, will they? Lu Qianqian is no match for him. Xing Xiao answered his little one in a low voice. Lin Muan was a third-generation heir. It was not difficult for him to capture him. Miss Lu, am I so beautiful that you can't take your eyes off me? Lin Muan did not stay idle. He teased Lu Qianqian. Lu Qianqian slammed the table and stood up. She pointed at Lin Muan. How did I offend you? Why do you want to replace me? You don't know how to act. But you are just a pretty face now. That was what annoyed Lu Qianqian the most. He was just fooling around with her. Because she is talented in acting. I am talented in beating people up. Besides, the entertainment industry isn't a place that just anyone can enter. The price of becoming famous is losing a lot of things: your privacy, your personal space, and most importantly, your past will be dug up. Do you think that your past will be accepted by everyone? It is fine if you are 26 or 36 years old. But you are only 18. You were abandoned when you were only 18. This circle is not suitable for you. After hearing Lin Muan's words, Lu Qianqian sat down. But her eyes were red. Is it my fault? You are not wrong. But that is not the mainstream value. You can do anything. But don't become a celebrity. You are cute and beautiful. Muqiqi suddenly understood what Lin Muan meant. Actually, this man had the same thought as her. He did not want Qianqian to be hurt. Chapter 219. Don't think too highly of yourself. Lu Qianqian had actually accepted his kindness. But she still felt embarrassed. I am the eldest daughter of the Lu family. How could I be replaced by you just like that? That's a disgrace. Look at you. You are just a little pepper. You don't appreciate others' kindness, do you? Who asked you to be a busybody? By the way, what kind of rubbish literature are you writing? Do you think advocating men is in line with the mainstream values? Seeing that Lu Qianqian had done her homework well, Lin Muan bent over and rested his head on the table. Then, he hooked his finger at Lu Qianqian. Why don't you come to my house one day? Let me tell you what values I'm advocating. This man was really flirtatious. But Lu Qianqian was not someone to be trifled with. She grabbed Lin Muan's finger and twisted it. I really want to make an appointment with you to have a hand-to-hand fight at the martial arts center. That's settled then. Give me your number. I'm free anytime. Who's afraid of you? Lu Qianqian immediately took out her phone. Lin Muan calmly told her his number. Then, they exchanged each other's number. And Muchichi just leaned on the table and watched the show from the beginning. Xing Xiao even pulled her up. Seems like I don't need your help next time. Muchichi held back her laughter and let them fight in the private room. Why do I feel like there are pink bubbles above their heads? It's none of your business, Xing Xiao said proudly. Then, he led her away. Jing Yun will come and send you to Xingting University later. I still have something to do. Speaking of Jing Yun, Muchichi could not help but ask, Special Assistant Jing, do you have a girlfriend? Xing Xiao shook his head. He's just a piece of rotten wood. He doesn't seem to be interested in this kind of thing. As if. Believe it or not, although Jing Yun looks like an idiot when it comes to relationships, people like him are usually very affectionate. Maybe he has someone in his heart. Xing Xiao tilted his head and looked at his little one. Jing Yun is under your control now? How can you be jealous? Mu and was not as bad as she thought. Although he had a lot of girlfriends, it did not stop him from being a good person. Mu and was not as bad as she thought he was. Although he had a lot of girlfriends, it did not stop him from being a good person. Moreover, Qianqian did not look like someone who would suffer a loss. After the incident with Duan Xiaoan, she was very cautious when it came to relationships. Therefore, there was no need to worry at all. In short, when Lu Qianqian and Lin Mu and left the hotel that afternoon, they glared at each other. Especially Lu Qianqian. She could not wait to strangle the man who ruined her career. Although she knew that her past would be very ugly if it was dug out, it would be very embarrassing. However, a playboy like Lin Mu and was incomparably infuriating. At around 9:00 that night, Muchichi received a call from Huang Yu in the small villa. Huang Yu rarely took the initiative to call her, and at this time, Muchichi immediately picked up because she guessed that something must have happened at home. Chi-Chi, if you are free now, please go home. I'm afraid that Grandpa Shin's body can't take it anymore. What's wrong? Muchichi asked quickly. It's all because of third brother and his family. Shenruoi has caused a big trouble. Anyway, please come home quickly. At this moment, Su Zipei, her husband and Xing Xiao were beside Muchichi. They heard Huang Yu's voice from the phone. So, Su Zipei said to Muchichi, go. Let's go. Xing Xiao grabbed Muchichi's collar and brought her back to the Shin family. You know something, don't you? On the way back, Muchichi asked Xing Xiao. Since it was about Shenruoi and it was a big matter, it should be the truth. Shenruoi's secret could not be hidden anymore. You can see what Grandpa Shin thinks about this matter now. In the dark, Xing Xiao helped Muchichi unfasten the seatbelt and reminded her. Muchichi was stunned. She did not know what to do. But after a while, she pushed the door open and went to the living room of the Shin family. At this moment, Mama Sheng was still in the Shin family. Shenruoi was kneeling in the living room. Grandpa Shen was holding a wooden stick in his hand. It seemed that he was very angry. Chi-Chi. Huang Yu pulled her to her side quickly. She was afraid that she would be hurt. What's wrong? It turns out that this girl has an ulterior motive for working in Huangyao. She has sneaked into Xing Zhao's office several times. Didn't she run into him tonight? She was caught red-handed. So, when your beautiful aunt sent her back, Grandpa Shin interrogated her carefully. Then, he found out that she has a crush on Xing Zhao. He is her uncle. Xiao Qin, it's my fault for not teaching her well. That's why such a scandal happened. I'm so sorry. Grandpa Shen, I don't want to talk about anything else. I just hope that Rui can take out Xing Zhao's cufflinks. They are his most precious thing. Mama Sheng looked at Shen Rui, who was kneeling on the floor. I saw it with my own eyes. She put it in her coat pocket. Huang Yu, go and take it out. Grandpa Shen ordered. But Sun Suyun was protecting Shen Rui. She did not let anyone touch it. Don't come near me. It's just a broken thing. It's not worth it for you to force it. Then, Sun Suyun took out the cufflinks from Shen Ruoyi's coat pocket. But, she threw it into the fish tank. Mu Qiqi looked at it and realized that it was the gift she gave to Xiao Xiao. So, she did not care about anything else. She reached out her hand to grab it. But, Huang Yu stopped her. Silly girl, there's electricity here. Let me help you. Mu Qiqi got the cufflinks with Huang Yu's help. Then, she gave it to Mama Sheng. Auntie. Here you go. Mama Sheng took back the cufflinks and looked at Mu Qiqi. Good girl. Xiao Qin, I'm really sorry. I've caused you trouble. Grandpa Shen, since it's a family matter of the Shen family, I should go back now. Roy is still young. I hope that she can learn her lesson. She should think carefully before she does anything. Then, Mama Sheng hugged Mu Qiqi. I'll come and see you some other day. Mu Qiqi nodded. Then, she sent a message to Xing Xiao. Beautiful auntie, I'll definitely come and see you. Xing Xiao did not ask why. He quickly went back to the villa that Mama Sheng prepared for him. Now, it was time to close the door. Grandpa Shen was mad. He hit Shen Ruoyi with a stick without any mercy. Where's the sense of honor that I've taught you since you were young? Do you like your uncle? Chapter 220. Sun Suyun went crazy too. She went forward and hugged Shen Ruoyi. She refuted Grandpa Shen. What's wrong with liking Xing Xiao? Is he an emperor or something? Why can't you like him? So what if he's her uncle? They are not related by blood. Moreover, Xing Xiao is only 5 years older than Ruoyi. Why can't I like him? It's because of a mother like you that she can raise such a daughter. Look at what she did. She went to work in someone else's company. But, she sneaked into someone else's office and stole their things. Shen Ruoyi, tell me, who taught you to do that? That's right. Shen Ruoyi looked at the floor. She looked embarrassed. Actually, she was speechless. Because she did not expect that Mama Sheng would enter the office and see her looking through Xing Xiao's things. She didn't know what had bewitched her to do such a shameful thing. She still hadn't recovered from it. Say something. Grandpa, I'm sorry. I've embarrassed you. Are you trying to embarrass me? You're embarrassing yourself. You're the young lady of the Shen family. What will you do if others know that you've done such a shameless thing? Do you still want your reputation? I've given up. I don't want to think about anything anymore. What else do you want? Can't you see the Xing family's attitude? They don't like you at all. Grandpa Shen was furious. He hit Shen Ruoyi a few more times. Then, he threw away the things in his hand. From today onwards, you should stay at home and reflect on yourself. You're not allowed to go out for a month. You can tell me when you've made up your mind. Shen Ruoyi was lying in Sun Suyun's arms. She did not have the strength to talk anymore. There was blood at the corner of her mouth. Sun Suyun was so scared that she screamed. Roy, my daughter. Roy, what should I do if anything happens to you? Send her to the hospital now. Huang Yu urged her. Old woman, you're so cruel. When Mu Qiqi saw this scene, she seemed to see herself in the future. Perhaps, she was even worse than Shen Ruoyi because she had lived with Xiao Xiao for a long time. Moreover, she could feel that her grandpa loved her more. If, with that in mind, Mu Qiqi walked to the old man and stroked his back to comfort him. Grandpa, your health is important. What kind of nonsense is this? Grandpa Sheng was utterly disappointed. Qiqi, do the youngsters these days really not care about seniority? However, these rules have been established for so many years. Are we going to throw them away just like that? Grandpa, forget it. I'm tired. I'm going back to my room. You can go home now. Grandpa Shen was sad and angry. It was because he had praised Shen Ruoyi for being sensible 2 days ago. But now, the granddaughter he was so proud of had done such a thing. How could he not be angry? Muchichi did not dare to follow. Her feet seemed to be fixed in place, and she could not move at all. Sun Suyun quickly sent Shinruoi to the hospital. At that moment, the Shin family was as empty as Muchichi's heart. After leaving the Shin family, Muchichi took a taxi back to Xing Xiao's house. But Xing Xiao was still dealing with Mama Sheng. It seemed that it was too difficult for Grandpa Sheng to accept this. It was just as Muchichi expected. Mama Sheng did use the cufflinks as an excuse to see her son. She thought that Xing Xiao was not at home again. But when she entered the house, she found out that Xing Xiao had just taken a shower and was about to rest. "Son, look at what I've given you." Xing Xiao took a look and found out that it was the cufflinks that Xiao Qi gave him. Shinruoi almost took it away today. I saw it. So, I went to the Shin family and got it back for you. Xing Xiao took the cufflinks from Mama Sheng and raised them up high. He looked at them under the light. Then, he said to Mama Sheng, "Mom, do you hate Shinruoi?" "You hate her. That's why I don't like her." Mama Sheng explained. "Actually, she hates you the most when she takes your things. I know that you treasure them very much. So, I'm angry." Xing Xiao smiled and kept the cufflinks. Then, he hugged Mama Sheng. "Oh, it's so rare." Actually, Xing Xiao was just apologizing in advance. It was because he would never give up on Xiao Qi. So, he was apologizing. "Xing Xiao, who gave you this?" "I'll tell you next time. It's late now. I'll send you home to rest." "It's okay. I drove here." Mama Sheng held Xing Xiao. "Go to sleep. I'm leaving." After a while, Mama Sheng left the villa. Xing Xiao took his coat and went back to his house with Muchichi. When he entered the house, he saw Muchichi sitting on the sofa without saying a word. He frowned. But, it only lasted for a second. Then, he sat down beside Muchichi and asked, "Since it's so difficult, why don't you give up?" Muchichi raised her head and looked at Xing Xiao in shock. "What did you say? I thought you couldn't bear to hurt your grandfather?" Muchichi quickly put her arms around Xing Xiao's neck and shook her head. "I don't want to. I can do anything to atone for my sins. But, I will never leave you." Xing Xiao was satisfied. He hugged Muchichi tightly. "It's different today. Moreover, my mother intervened on purpose. It's normal for Grandpa Sheng to be angry. What about beautiful aunt?" "Little one, I can't tell you the answer now. Because I won't lie to you. You should have thought of these things before you got together with me. So, no matter how difficult it is, what's the use of being afraid? Solve it and overcome it. That's the end." Muchichi thought about it. It seemed like that was the case. She felt a little relieved. "Give me some time. I'm scared by Grandpa's reaction. But I will never give up on you. Even if Grandpa beats me to death." "Silly thing, do you think I'll watch as others touch a single hair on your head?" Having said that, Xing Xiao carried Muchichi to the bathroom. He wrung a hot towel and wiped her face. "Do you know why my mother is so angry?" "What is it?" Xing Xiao handed the towel to Muchichi. Then, he took out a cufflink from his shirt pocket. "Because of this. Just now, third aunt threw it into the fish tank at the Shin's house. I was anxious and reached out to catch it." Muchichi took the cufflink from Xing Xiao's hand. She was very emotional. "I didn't expect you to treasure such a little thing so much." Chapter 221. Grandpa Shin sent Shinruoi to the hospital. She was grounded for a month after she returned home. Grandpa Shen was serious this time. He was not joking at all. It seemed that he was really angry. Sun Suyun was taking care of Shinruoi. She was so angry when she saw her daughter like that. That old man is really inhumane. He is so cruel. Just wait and see. If Muchichi does something wrong, he will not treat her like this. She is easy to bully. Mom. I want to give up now. I don't have the face to see the Xing family anymore. Shenrui sat on the bed and said to Tsun Suyin weakly. Daughter, don't you like Xingxiao anymore? Shenrui could not help but tell Tsun Suyin everything that she had seen and heard in Huangyao. Tsun Suyin's eyes opened wide when she heard it. She could not believe it. Did you see it with your own eyes? Shenrui nodded. I was wrong about him. I thought he was a gentleman. I didn't expect that. Tsun Suyin was shocked for a while. Then, she came back to her senses. If what you said is true and Xingxiao is so ridiculous, then it's better for you to see his true colors. Although wealth is important, my daughter's life is more important. If Xingxiao is so ridiculous, then why is the Xing family so proud? How dare he come to the Xing family and bully us? Mom, alright, let's not talk about it anymore. Let's ask your uncle to find you a more outstanding young man. Oh yes, what do you think about the young master of the Lin family? Tsun Suyin noticed that there was no hope for the Xing family. So, she shifted her attention to Lin Muwen. The young master of the Lin family is much easier to deal with than Xingxiao. Moreover, he is innocent. He will not fool around with women. If you like him, I can try to get in touch with him. Shenrui just wanted to find a way to forget Xingxiao now. And the best candidate was Lin Muwen. Are you serious? My daughter has thought it through? That's great news. But she did not know that Xingxiao was not someone she could hope for. Not even Lin Muwen. Xingxiao managed to get rid of Shenrui successfully. He used some extreme methods. Although he was a devil in front of Shenrui, it was good that she was afraid of him. However, the old man insisted on giving Muchichi the young master of the Lin family. We have to think of a way to make Muchichi lose her position in the Shin family. Shenrui suddenly recalled the day when she visited Muchichi with Grandpa Shen after the Lin family's banquet. At that time, she suspected that Muchichi was not in the small villa and that Muchichi's aunt was covering for her. Mother, we can't keep waiting for Muchichi to deal with us. We need to take the initiative. I suspect that Muchichi is hiding something from the Shin family. So, you'd better find a way to verify it. How? She's under the Xing family's protection. You don't have to make it too complicated. You just have to go to the small villa and observe her aunt. You will definitely find something that can be used against her. As long as they could find out that Muchichi had lied to Grandpa Shen would be disappointed with Muchichi. By then, they could seize the opportunity to drive Muchichi out of the Shen family. That would be a reasonable thing to do. All right. Since you said so, I'll make the arrangements. Tsun Suyin listened to her daughter. I hope that God will open his eyes and let me find something that can be used against that bitch. In the Shen family, Grandpa Shen was very sad because of Shenrui. It was because he could not stand it when the younger generation and the older generation were together. He could not cross that barrier. An elder was an elder. What was the point of being together with the younger generation? Shenrui had done such a silly thing. As her grandfather, it was embarrassing for him to say anything about it. It was embarrassing. So, Grandpa Shen was upset at home. He did not have a good meal for a few days. In the end, he had a high fever. He could not take it anymore and fell ill on the bed. When Muchichi heard about it, she went to visit Grandpa Shen after class. She saw Grandpa Shen acting like an old urchin. She took the bowl of porridge from Huang Yu and fed it to Grandpa Shen. Grandpa, why do you have to do this? How can I face the Xing family in the future? Grandpa Shen still could not accept it. He felt very upset. Grandpa, your health is important. Dad has just recovered. Are you going to lie down again? Muchichi persuaded him. Moreover, Sister Ruoi is also in the hospital. She is badly injured. She has been taught a lesson. Chi-Chi, I don't have any hope for Shinruoi anymore. I just hope that you won't disappoint me. Grandpa, don't give me so much pressure. You know that I am even more disobedient than Sister Ruoi. Mu Chi-Chi let Grandpa Shin sit up and eat the porridge obediently. You're the best. We've tried to persuade him many times. But, he just can't accept it. Second aunt, Grandpa will think it through sooner or later. After Grandpa Shin fell asleep, Mu Chi-Chi planned to leave the Shin family. But, she bumped into Tsun Suyun, who had just returned from the hospital. They did not look happy when they saw each other. It was as if they were enemies who killed each other's parents. Mu Chi-Chi, don't be too proud. You will have this day too. Mu Chi-Chi did not say anything. She left the Shin family directly. She knew that she would have this day. But, it was not now. She just hoped that Grandpa Shin could be healthy. Then, he would not refuse to eat because of her. Tsun Suyun sneered when she saw Mu Chi-Chi leaving. Now, she had sent someone to monitor the little mansion. She was keeping a close eye on Suzy Pei. She did not believe that she could not find out Mu Chi-Chi's secret. To Mu Chi-Chi, every time she returned to the Shin family and saw Grandpa Shin's sad face, it was a kind of torture for her. But, she was not afraid of this torture. She was firm in her belief. Just like what Xiao Xiao said, no matter how many difficulties there were in front of her, even if she could not see the future, she would still persist. So, after she had such a mentality, she became more calm. But, Shinruoi and her daughter had shifted their target to Lin Muben. This was also the first time Tsun Suyun went to Grandpa Shin's room calmly and talked to him for a while. I know you don't want to see me. But, I'll leave after saying a few words. Grandpa Shin was so angry that he turned his back to Tsun Suyun. Chapter 222. It was certainly worth considering, because the Xing family would never tell anyone about it. How embarrassing would that be? But he felt that it would be unfair to the young master of the Lin family. But there was no better way now. It was better to let Shinruoi be with Lin Mu, and then to let her be with Xing Xiao. I will think about it. You can leave now. Humph. That's more like it. Tsun Suyun snorted. Grandpa Shen was still humane. He was not evil. However, Lin Mu and had to be willing to be the one to plot against him. Since he met Lu Qianqian, Lin Mu and always wanted to flirt with her. He would argue with her when he was free. How could there be such a wonderful thing in the world? They exchanged phone numbers when they met last time. Lu Qianqian even said that she wanted to have a hand-to-hand fight in the martial arts club. How could she withstand his punches? But he did not expect that Lu Qianqian would send him a message in the middle of the night. She asked him to meet her in the martial arts club the next day. Lin Mu and agreed almost immediately. The corners of his mouth curled up unconsciously. However, he did not know that Lu Qianqian was in a bad mood. She could have gone to the crew to waste her energy and time. But because of what he said, she did not have any more scenes. So, Lin Mu and had to take responsibility. Duan Xiao and was going to be sentenced. The man whom she loved for so many years ended up like this. Although Lu Qianqian said that he deserved it, she was actually very sad. The next morning, Lin Mu and woke up early. He put on his sportswear and was about to go out. But, Grandpa Lin stopped him. Go home early tonight. I want to have dinner with Grandpa Shen. Okay. Lin Mu and guessed that Grandpa Shen must be talking about Mu Chi-Chi. So, he just laughed it off. But, he did not expect that it was Shinruoi this time. When he arrived at the martial arts club, Lin Mu and saw Lu Qianqian hitting the sandbag. He walked over and leaned against the sandbag. He saw Lu Qianqian sweating. I didn't know that you are quite strong. Go away. Lu Qianqian was venting her anger. Her tears and sweat were mixed together. Lin Mu and felt the pressure on her. He quickly put on his boxing gloves. Do you believe it? You won't even be able to touch the corner of my clothes. Lu Qianqian was instantly pissed off. She pounced on Lin Mu and rode on him, giving him a good beating. Lin Mu and quickly fought back, and the two of them rolled on the ground a few times. Finally, Lin Mu and subdued Lu Qianqian. Are you grinding your claws? What a little chilly. Who asked you to cut off my path to stardom and make me suffer so much? Just for a supporting role? Is there a need for this? You know nothing. Lu Qianqian pushed Lin Mu and away and stood up. She wiped her tears and sweat. I'm in a bad mood today. No, it doesn't matter today. As long as I'm in a bad mood in the future, you have to be my sparring partner. Give me a reason. Because you have a mouth that deserves a spanking. Mu Qiqi was much gentler than she was. Or was it because she was hurt that she pretended to be like this? Alright, I can promise you that. However, you must also promise me that I will be your sparring partner for a day, and you must return me a day's worth of time. On that day, no matter what I ask you to do, you must not refuse. What about the conditions? However, Lu Qianqian did not refuse. It's a deal, scumbag. How am I a scumbag? Lin Mu and was very curious. He stood up from the ground. Look at the stuff you've written. You've praised men to the heavens. Conceited, shameless, and reliable central air conditioner. I hate men like that the most. I definitely won't fall for it. After hearing Lu Qianqian's words, Lin Mu and laughed. He laughed very heartlessly. You didn't fall for it. If you didn't fall for it, why are you standing here now? That's because I asked you out. Then I will ask you out in the future. After Lin Mu and finished laughing, he patted the seat beside him and said to Lu Qianqian, come and sit down. Tell me why you are venting so crazily and why you treat the punching bag as your enemy for 10 lifetimes. Lu Qianqian calmed down and sat cross-legged. Then, she said to Lin Mu and, that bastard has been sentenced today. Just because of this? Is it worth your punching the punching bag's chest? Lu Qianqian did not say anything. She felt that it was very strange. There were some things that she could not say to Mu Qiqi. But in front of this disgusting man, she could pour out her bitterness. Let me tell you a rule. I will teach you how to distinguish between men. Those who look honest and honest are actually coquettish. But look at me and the crown prince. They look no different from playboys. But in fact, they are the ones who are not interested in women. You? Lu Qianqian looked at him from head to toe. Your whole face says that I want to flirt with you. Do you think I am stupid? Lin Mu and burst out laughing. He pulled her up. Come on. Let's move. Since I am your sparring partner today, you can use my body as you please. Lu Qianqian rolled her eyes. This man never forgot to flirt with girls. But before they knew it, they stayed in the martial arts club for the whole day. When they got home at night, Lin Mu and was smiling. When he saw Old Shen, he remembered that he had a dinner appointment today. I'm sorry, Old Shen. I need to go up and change. It's okay. Grandpa Shen waved his hand to show that he did not mind. He was here to persuade Lin Mu and. He wanted to see if he could help Lin Mu and Shen Rui get together. Let's go, Old Shen. Let's talk while we eat. After the dinner, Lin Mu and finally understood Grandpa Shen's intention. He also understood his grandpa's intention. Actually, his grandpa had talked to him before. He wanted to know if he liked Mu Qiqi. But it was obvious that Grandpa Shen was not satisfied with Mu Qiqi's birth. Speaking of Shen Rui, how perfect was she? She was well educated and knowledgeable. Moreover, she was born in a good family. So, the two old men seemed to have reached a tacit agreement. They did not even ask for Lin Mu An's opinion. But, he was not angry. Anyway, Shinruoi did not like him either. But he did not expect that Shinruoi would change her mind all of a sudden. And if you have time in the future, you should visit Miss Shin more often. I heard that she is hospitalized now. You should go and visit her when you are free. Sure. Lin and nodded and agreed. He could visit a patient. But it depended on whether he was sincere or not. Shinruoi was not a person to be trifled with. Chapter 223. After Grandpa Shin met Lin and he went back to the Shin family and told Sun Suyun a piece of good news. Sun Suyun knew that Lin and promised to visit Shinruoi. So, her attitude towards Grandpa Shin became better. You finally behave like a grandfather. You don't have to run around for that bastard every day. Are you going to start again? It was rare for Grandpa Shin to be happy. But Sun Suyun started to pressure him again. Wasn't she annoyed by her words? Sun Suyun knew that Grandpa Shin played a key role this time. So, she kept quiet. But there would be a good show in a few days. Because she had been observing the small villa for a few days. But she did not see Muchichi go back. Not even for a day. I have been watching outside for so many days. I have seen all kinds of people. But I did not see Muchichi entering or leaving the small villa. I have asked the people in the villa. There is only one door in the villa. The other doors are all locked. So, I am sure that the bastard has another place to stay. Shinruoi was deep in thought after she heard what her mother said. If she is not staying in the small villa, there is no need to hide it from Grandpa. Unless it is a secret. I think so too. But Muchichi is under the protection of the Shing family now. It will be difficult to follow her. Mom, you don't have to do it yourself. Go to Shingting University and find a helper. You can ask Muchichi's classmate to help you. Then, it will not arouse suspicion. That's a good idea. I'll get it done tomorrow. I am getting more and more curious. What is the secret of this bastard? By the way, your eldest uncle is also in this hospital. I will bring you to see him when you are better. From the first day the mother and daughter entered the hospital, Shin Jianchuan already knew about it. The mother and daughter who bullied Muchichi were like snakes. They were always scheming. Although he was not in the Shin family, he knew everything about the Shin family. Apart from what Grandpa Shin told him, he could also make his own judgment. So, Shin Jianchuan soon found out from the nurse what the mother and daughter said in the ward. After all, he was an old man in the hospital. It was not too difficult to ask the nurse for a favor. Through the nurse, Shin Jianchuan found out that the mother and daughter were investigating the matter of Muchichi not staying in the small villa. As her father, he deduced that Muchichi was already living with that brat. That was why no one could know about it. She was only 18 years old. Was she going to hand over her life to someone else? Even so, Shin Jianchuan still asked the nurse to contact Muchichi and asked her to come to the hospital. Muchichi did not know what Shin Jianchuan wanted to say, but she could feel that it must be very important. Tell me the truth, Chichi. Are you living with Xing Xiao now? After listening to Shin Jianchuan's question, Muchichi could not deny it. She could only nod in silence. We have been living together. Have you decided on him? Dad, we've already discussed this before, Muchichi answered Shin Jianchuan firmly. Although Shin Jianchuan felt that it was a pity. He had not found a son-in-law for his daughter, but he still told Muchichi about Sun Suyun and her daughter. Even if you don't stay in the small villa, you must go back every day. Even if you come out after that, you must not leave any gap for them to investigate you. Shinruoi and her daughter already know that you have not returned to the small villa for a few days. Now, they are planning to bribe your classmates to find out where you are staying. Muchichi felt sorry for Shin Jianchuan. Dad, I'm sorry. I know that my daughter has grown up. But I've told you before that I'm very capable. Even if I lie here and can't move, I can still protect you. Fortunately, they are in this hospital. What would you do if they were in another hospital to deal with you? The matter of Shenrui liking Xiao Xiao has been exposed. Grandpa is very angry. He beat Shenrui up and forbade her from leaving the Shen family. If Grandpa knows about it one day, Xiao Xiao and I don't know how sad he will be. Since you're so afraid, why are you still with Xing Xiao? I can't live without him. Mu Qiqi's eyes were firm. Thank you, Dad. I'll handle this matter well. Handle what? They just want to stir up trouble in front of Grandpa Shen. You just have to play along with them. You can also dispel Grandpa Shen's worries. Shenrui is so obsessed with Xing Xiao even though she has almost no chance to see him. So, do you think your grandfather will think that you're so close to Xing Xiao? He's just pretending to be ignorant. He's lying to himself before he sees the evidence. I understand. Xiao Qi, it's fine if you like him. It's not a heinous crime. Xing Xiao treats you very well. As a father, I have nothing to say. Your grandfather will accept you sooner or later. Only Shen Jianchuan understood her at this time. Mu Qiqi smiled. I was in a hurry when I left home. So, I asked Xiao Xiao to send me here. Do you want to see him? He kidnapped my daughter. Do you think I'll accept him so easily? No way. Shen Jianchuan said. After I recover, I'll ask him to visit me properly. Okay. Mu Qiqi hugged Shen Jianchuan's arm and rubbed against it. She tried to feel her father's warmth and protection. But when she thought about it, she realized that Sun Suyun and her daughter had done too many things to her. She had no reason not to fight back. Just like what her father said, she would play along with them. She would make Grandpa Shen hate them completely. She might even chase them out of the Shen family. She did not want to do that. But, someone forced her to do it. Mu Qiqi stayed with Shen Jianchuan for a little longer in the hospital. Then, she went home with Xing Xiao. But, on the way home, Mu Qiqi had told Xing Xiao about Shenrui and her daughter. Xing Xiao entered the living room. He did not say a word. He just hugged Mu Qiqi quietly. Since we're playing, let's play it big. But, I don't understand why they won't let me go. Shenrui made a mistake and was punished by Grandpa Shen. But, you're fine. So, of course, they'll try their best to find fault with you. What's there to understand? At first, I wanted to let them go. But, they're too scheming. Since they want to investigate so much, I'll let them investigate to their heart's content. There's a path to heaven, but they don't want to take it. There's no door to hell, but they want to go. Chapter 224. Lin Mu and was ordered to visit Shenrui in the hospital. He behaved like a gentleman and gave her flowers. Sun Suyun could not stop smiling when she saw that. She immediately made room for them and found an excuse to leave the ward. Shenrui was lying on the bed. She looked like a sleeping beauty. Although she did not have any special feelings for Lin Mu, she still looked at him gently. Mu-en, thank you for coming. Sister Rui, don't say that. I'm worried about your health. Lin Mu-en addressed Shenrui as his sister to draw a line between them. Although he had promised the elders that he would visit Shenrui, it did not mean that he had to obey their arrangement. Shenrui could feel that Lin Mu-en was trying his best to draw a line between them. It was really strange. He had just said that Mu Qiqi and Lin Mu-en were a good match for each other a few days ago. Now, he was slapping her in the face. I'm fine. I'll be discharged from the hospital soon. That's good. I have something to do in the afternoon. I won't accompany you anymore. I hope that you'll be healthy the next time we meet. Lin Mu-en was a gentleman, but he was too polite. Sun Suyun saw Lin Mu-en leaving her daughter's ward so quickly. She could not help but ask, what happened? Did you have a bad conversation? He was ordered to visit me. How could he be sincere? Shenrui said embarrassedly. It's okay. Feelings can be cultivated slowly. Don't worry. Daughter, when you're discharged from the hospital, you should go out and have fun. Young people will fall in love very soon. Your grandfather has helped you a lot this time. He still has a conscience. What could Shenrui do? She nodded her head. She would admit to everything. After Lin Mu and left the hospital, he went to the florist again and bought a bouquet of flowers. The florist saw Lin Mu and smiled at him. Sir, are you going to see a patient again? Is it the same as the one just now? Give me a new bouquet of flowers. I want the most beautiful one. I want the freshest one. And, I want the best packaging. Okay. Please wait a moment, sir. This is for your girlfriend, isn't it? You can tell from how much effort you put in. Lin Mu smiled but didn't say anything. He quickly took the bouquet of carefully wrapped flowers from the hands of the flower shop attendant and went to the martial arts hall. Just like last time, Lu Qianqian had already arrived. When she saw him holding the flowers, she immediately blurted out, "Don't tell me it's for me? Have you received flowers before?" Lin Mu asked Lu Qianqian as he took off his coat. Lu Qianqian was silent and did not answer. In other words, she did not receive it. Isn't that enough? I'll be merciful today and let you feel the envy of others. After Lin Mu finished speaking, he went to the changing room. After changing, he came out of the changing room. What do you want to vent about today? I wonder what I'll do in the future. Lu Qianqian pouted. I used to be an obedient child, but I learned a lot of unconventional things from that scum, such as boxing, billiards, and those things in the club. But now, those things are meaningless to me. I'm not as smart as Chi-Chi. She's studying in Enchanting University. She went there to learn how to cut up corpses. Lu Qianqian rolled her eyes at him. Anyway, I want to beat you up again today. Think carefully. Including today, you owe me for a total of 2 days. When the time comes, I'll make you pay me back. I'm afraid of you. Lu Qianqian was not afraid of his tricks. But when she saw the bouquet of flowers on the table, she was quite touched. It was like a child who had never been loved and suddenly had a candy stuffed in her mouth. That feeling was really different. You were wearing a suit and leather shoes just now. Where did you go? Shouldn't people of your profession stay at home and think about your plot? I went to visit the patient. A woman? Mu Chi-Chi's cousin. Lin Mu made a fake pose and waited for Lu Qianqian's fist. I seem to understand. Could it be that this bouquet of flowers is, you're thinking too much? It's just a bag of flowers sent to the hospital. It's economical and practical. I was in there for a total of 3 minutes, including the time I took to walk. Lin Mu shrugged. I don't have a good impression of this woman. It's really rare, it's rare. Eat my punch. Lu Qianqian used all her skills to vent all the resentment in her heart. The two of them stayed like that for another day. Then, the two of them lay on the ground, sweating profusely. Lin Mu suddenly said to Lu Qianqian, "You're the only daughter in your family. The burden of the Lu family will be handed over to you sooner or later. In that case, why do you still have to think of a way out? That's the way you should take on. Wouldn't it be fine if you carry out the successor training? Things seem to be that simple." Lu Qianqian nodded. Thank you for the flowers. After saying that, she got up and took the bouquet of flowers away. In order to feel the envious gazes of others, she deliberately walked home. Sure enough, the number of heads turned along the way was astonishing, especially from the girls. They were filled with endless envy. At that moment, Lin Mu got up from the ground and sent a message to Lu Qianqian. Tomorrow, it's your turn to accompany me. Be careful. I'm a person who can ask for anything. Lu Qianqian put away her phone and finally smiled. On the other hand, Mu Chi-Chi knew that Sun Suyun and her daughter were investigating her. So, she deliberately left the school and went back to her and Xingzhao's new home. She purposely let the mother and daughter know that she had another place to stay. The students who followed Muqiqi could not enter the villa. So, she did not know that Xingzhao was also in the villa. In order to give Sun Suyun more material to complain to Grandpa Shen, Muqiqi would prepare more scenes for others to see. Then, when Sun Suyun came with Grandpa Shen, the scene would be interesting. Sure enough, when Sun Suyun knew where Muqiqi's new home was, she was very excited. But, they could not act rashly. Because Muqiqi might have a new home, but it did not mean that she had any secrets. They must find out more about her so that Grandpa Shen would be disappointed or even hate Muqiqi. She did not know that Shen Jianchuan already knew about her and Shen Ruoi's scheme. It seems that things are starting to turn for the better. God is helping us. You can be discharged from the hospital in 1 day. Then, you should hurry and ask the young master of the Lin family out for a date. Mom, I know what to do. Don't worry about it. Chapter 225. Shen Ruoi knew that Lin Mu and had great potential. But Lin Mu and was not as obedient as he seemed to be. I'll buy some delicious pastries and visit the Lin family tomorrow. I'm relieved that you're enlightened. Sun Suyun was relieved. Shen Ruoi was not enlightened. She just thought of Sheng Zhao's hobby of teasing girls. It was so creepy. Moreover, she had embarrassed herself in the Sheng family. Now, she just wanted to erase this devil from her mind as soon as possible. So, the next morning, Shen Ruoi went to visit the Lin family after she bought some pastries. But, Lin Mu and was in his office. He asked Lu Qianqian to come with him. Imitate my signature. There are 2,000 books that need my signature. Lu Qianqian crossed her arms and shook her head. Why would the readers want to buy your books? Why do you have to fake this? I need them tonight. I won't be able to sign all 2,000 books even if I break my arm. That's easy. Can't you just sign it? It's better to sign for someone else if you're not sincere. Lin Mu and looked at her and shook his head. Then, go and take off your clothes. Hey, pervert. Take off your coat and help me take care of the flowers. You don't want to get wet, do you? Lin Mu and turned around and looked at Lu Qianqian. There was an evil smile in his eyes. Or, do you want to get wet? Lu Qianqian rolled her eyes at him. Let me tell you. I don't have any feelings for men now. I won't be interested even if you stand in front of me naked. You sound like you should be saying that to men. I don't know how to take care of flowers. I deserve it if you kill them. Lin Mu and smiled and let her be. He focused on sitting in front of the mountain of books, obediently in front of him. He only wrote the word "an" in each book. It saved him a lot of trouble. Then, he would ask his assistant to prepare 2,000 gifts as a gift to apologize. Looking at Lu Qianqian, she was like a rich young lady when she was quiet. But, when she opened her mouth, she was like a firecracker. Lin Mu and was immersed in his signature again. But, he received a call from Shen Ruoi soon. Mu and I bought some pastries for you, but I don't know where you are right now. Will I disturb you? Lin Mu and was stunned. Could it be that he didn't make his attitude clear when he went to the hospital? I'm sorry, Sister Ruoi. I have an appointment today. I'll definitely visit you another day to apologize. Lin Mu and always kept a good distance from women he didn't like. He would never give them any chances or misunderstandings. Dating wasn't about making do, it was about liking each other, wasn't it? All right then, after Shen Ruoi hung up the phone, Lin Mu and fell into deep thoughts. Shen Ruoi clearly wanted to matchmake him with Muqiqi. Why was she so nice to him now? This was not a good sign. Lu Qianqian saw that he was in a daze after answering the phone. She sneered. Since you have an appointment, go. Do you really want me to go? What does it have to do with me? Lu Qianqian continued to bury her head and focus on the plants on the ground. This little pepper was really irritating. It seemed that he had to think of a way to avoid this rotten peach blossom. Shenruoi did not know that she did not have a good ending with Xing Xiao. Now that she was in the Lin family, Lin Mu and still despised her. Of course, before he could avoid this rotten peach blossom, he had to know why Shenruoi suddenly went to the hospital and changed her attitude towards him. Perhaps Mu Qiqi could answer his question. But according to Mu Qiqi's character, she would not gossip about others. So, he could only call the crown prince and ask him about it. He promised Lu Qianqian that he would meet Xing Xiao and Xing Xiao owed him a favor. It was not too much to ask the crown prince to return the favor, right? So, Lin Mu and picked up the phone in front of Lu Qianqian. He dialed Xing Xiao's number. Crown Prince, I need a minute. I want to ask you something. Say it. Xing Xiao raised his eyebrows and put down the contract in his hand. Based on your relationship with Mu Qiqi, you must know why Shenruoi is hospitalized, right? Grandpa Shen beat her up. Why? Because she sneaked into my office and was caught by my mother. I understand now. Lin Mu and understood immediately. Xing Xiao's intention was clear enough. Shenruoi failed to fall in love with him and Grandpa Shen found out about it. So, she was beaten up. It was the same case of a niece falling in love with an uncle. Mu Qiqi's ending was too different. If that's the case, it'll be easy. Thank you, Crown Prince. Lu Qianqian was curious when she heard the two men talking about Shenruoi. Is Shenruoi related to the Crown Prince? Don't worry. The Crown Prince loves your Xiao Qiqi very much. I'm the one who is in trouble now. But, I've thought of a way to avoid it. Since she had made a fool of herself in the Xing family, she still dared to come to him shamelessly. Could it be that he really looked like a spare tire? It had better be so. What will you do if the Crown Prince has another woman outside? I'll let Qiqi leave him. Lu Qianqian answered Lin Mu and firmly. You're such a playboy. You won't understand how pitiful and scary a person can be when they are in love. The Crown Prince is Qiqi's first love. She sounded as if Mu Qiqi was not Xing Xiao's first love. It was just that no one knew about it. You go and tell the Crown Prince, and you, since you're related to Shenruoi, don't come to me. I hate men like you the most. But, Lin Mu laughed when he heard what Lu Qianqian said. So, do you think that you're a woman who will have a relationship with me? Yes, we're enemies. Are you satisfied with this answer? This man, 2 out of every 3 sentences he said were meant to seduce women, Lin Mu, and did not continue to quarrel with Lu Qianqian. He was thinking about how he should tell his grandpa about it in an interesting way when he returned home. Lu Qianqian stayed in Lin Mu's studio until the afternoon. Then, she thought that she should go and have a meal with Mu Qiqi. Because she was interested in Shenruoi. Mu Qiqi rushed to meet Lu Qianqian after class. Of course, she knew that someone was watching her closely. Qiqi, I was in Lin Mu's studio today. I heard Lin Mu calling the Crown Prince to ask about Shenruoi. What's the relationship between the Crown Prince and Shenruoi? Mu Qiqi smiled. She did not answer her question. Instead, she asked, since when are you so close to Lin Mu? I'm worried about you. Don't worry. I'll tell you slowly. Mu Qiqi said as she poured a cup of fruit tea for Lu Qianqian. At the same time, Lin Mu had entered the house. He saw his grandpa and walked to him. Grandpa, Miss Shen came to look for you today. But you weren't here. Chapter 226. Grandpa Lin glanced at him and nodded his head. Go ahead. Lin Mu walked to Grandpa Lin and sat down on the sofa. His expression was complicated. Of course, it was all an act. I heard that Miss Shen is hospitalized because of a man. But the man's family does not want her. So, Grandpa, think about it. Old Shen wanted me to get to know Miss Chi-Chi more during your birthday banquet. But a few days later, she became Miss Roy. Don't you think it's strange? I don't want to affect the friendship between you and old Master Shen, but there are some things that I have to say to him. Grandpa Lin thought for a while and did not refute his grandson. It was because Lin Mu and had always been considerate. Moreover, he had never disobeyed him on such matters. No matter which lady he met, they would always praise him. So, since Lin Mu and felt embarrassed, he had to investigate Shen Ruo's case carefully. Is this news reliable? Yes, Grandpa. You know that I won't tell you if it's not because I can't live with it, don't say any more. Although I'm good friends with old Shen, you're the pride of the Lin family. How can you be someone's backup? Don't bother about the Shen family. You don't have to see Miss Shen if you don't want to. Thank you, Grandpa. Lin Mu and said it in a subtle way. But Grandpa Lin managed to get the point. It seemed that he did not waste his years in the government. Although he was not as good as the Crown Prince, he did not need to be a backup. What was Shen Rui thinking about all day? Mu Chi-Chi told Lu Qianqian about what happened in the Shen family while they were talking. Qianqian was speechless when she heard about Sun Suyun and her daughter. In other words, Shen Rui was scared off by the Crown Prince. Now, she thinks of Lin Mu and again. Is that what you mean? Judging from the current situation, it seems so. No wonder Lin Mu and wants to ask the Crown Prince about this. Perhaps, he wants to find a way to get rid of this vase. Lu Qianqian sighed. TSK. She must be worried about getting married. Now, she can find herself a backup. Lin Mu and must be very angry, well. I don't know. How interesting. Lu Qianqian was actually unaware that so much had happened to Mu Chi-Chi while she was grieving. That mother and daughter are still looking for a chance to expose you and cause trouble? Yes, I can only say that they've eaten a bear's heart and leopard's gall. They're courageous. I really want to know how Lin Mu and got rid of this big vase. So, Mu Chi-Chi and the others already knew what was going on. Only Sun Suyun and her daughter were still daydreaming. You're so close to Lin Mu then. Why don't you just ask him? Go to hell. You're making fun of me. Lu Qianqian pushed Mu Chi-Chi. After that, Mu Chi-Chi returned to the villa. The classmate who followed her was really energetic. She and Qianqian had been sitting in the cafe for so long, but she could still hold on. After she entered the villa, the classmates secretly asked the security guard at the entrance which building Mu Chi-Chi was staying in and what the house number was. However, he did not tell her. So, she secretly gave him some cash. Then, she got the answer. That girl has moved into our villa for some time. She is living with a man. But I don't know who they are. Every day, they go home one after another. If you want to know who her man is, you can come here another day. As for the rest, I can't tell you the house number. It's enough. That's enough. The security guard was satisfied. Because she had gotten what Sun Suyun and her daughter wanted. Mu Chi-Chi is really living with a man. Sun Suyun was very excited. It's a pity that we don't know who the man is. Mom, Mu Chi-Chi is not on guard now. It's just a matter of time before they find out. Don't be anxious. Shen Rui reminded her. Let's bear with it for a while. By the way, how did it go when you went to meet young Master Lin today? He's not at home. Shen Rui answered casually while removing her makeup. Don't you know how to look for him when he's not at home? I'll go tomorrow, said Shen Rui. Sun Suyun was satisfied when she heard what Shen Rui said. That's more like it. It was getting colder at night. Mu Chi-Chi was still walking around the house barefooted. Xing Xiao carried her on his shoulder and walked to the bedroom when he saw her. Xiao Xiao, are you purposely walking barefooted to make me feel bad? Does your butt not hurt anymore? Xing Xiao placed her on the edge of the bed. Then, He squatted in front of her and put on the soft slippers for her. Muchichi quickly covered her butt when he mentioned her butt. Don't spank my butt all the time. I'm an adult now. No matter how old you are, you're still a little thing in my eyes. Moreover, I've been treating you like a father and a brother ever since you started sticking to me. Why are you arguing that you're an adult now? If I want to punish you, I'll have to spank you. I'll remember to wear shoes next time. Can you let me go, Crown Prince? You've gotten what you want. Xing Xiao pinched her nose. Then, he stood up and left the bedroom. But, Muchichi seized the opportunity and threw herself on his back. Sun Suyun and her daughter already know that I'm living with a man here. They'll definitely try their best to confirm the man's identity. Why don't I show my face to them? Xing Xiao teased Muchichi on purpose. I'll let them know that I don't want their daughter. I want you, my little thing. Wait a little longer, Xing Xiao smiled. In fact, he knew very well that the little one did not want to expose their relationship just yet. She always wanted to grow up quickly and become more and more outstanding. That way, there would be less gossip about her, and it would be better for him. Anyway, my birth is already a topic that people always laugh about. I don't care about my reputation. But, I care about you. I don't know what I should do to stop people from talking about me. Xing Xiao did not say anything. He carried Muchichi to the study. Then, he let her hang on his back like a koala. Do you love me that much? After a while, Xing Xiao lowered his head and asked the person in his arms. Muchichi was half awake. But, she still answered him, I love you. I love you very much. Xing Xiao did not say anything. He just hugged his little one tightly in his arms. Would the love of an 18-year-old make people feel that it was light and weightless? But, Xing Xiao believed in Muchichi. The love of an 18-year-old was pure, clean and wholehearted. Chapter 227. These days, Shenrui went to see Lin Mu and for a few times. But, Lin Mu and rejected her every time. Shenrui vaguely felt that something was wrong. Lin Mu and had been perfunctory the last few times. But recently, Lin Mu and was too lazy to be perfunctory. Sometimes, he did not even answer her calls or reply her texts. No matter how despicable Shenrui was, she should know what he meant. But, the Lin family and the Shen family had been friends for many years. Moreover, it was the two elders who had helped them. Even if Lin Mu and was dissatisfied with her, he would not pretend that she was pestering him. He was bullying her. Shenrui was not convinced. So, she sent someone to follow Lin Mu and for a few days. She found out that he was very close to a woman recently. She was Muchichi's good friend, the young lady of the Lu family, Lu Qianqian. Shenrui did not think much. She went straight to Grandpa Shen. Grandpa, you seem to support me to be with the young master of the Lin family. But, you don't want to help me, do you? Shenrui, how can you talk to your elders like this? Huang Yu immediately asked Shenrui, what happened to your well-mannered and well-mannered demeanor? Second aunt, you don't know this. Grandpa supports me to be with the young master of the Lin family. But, he has been ignoring me these days. Do you know who he is with? He is with Muchichi's good friend. The one who had a miscarriage when she was 18. Grandpa Shen frowned when he heard that. You feel uncomfortable too, don't you? I think so too. I am the young lady of the Shen family. How can I lose to a second-hand woman? Moreover, Lu Qianqian is Muchichi's good friend. Can I understand that Muchichi asked her friend to seduce Lin Muan? Father, Muchichi is not that kind of person. Huang Yu immediately spoke for Muchichi. Huang Yu, call Muchichi and ask her to come here. Grandpa Shen did not make a decision. Because he did not know about it, he would not take sides. When Muchichi received the call, she felt that she was in trouble. So, she rushed back to the Shen family immediately. Once they entered the house, all the elders were gathered in the living room. Sun Suyun and her daughter were crying and standing at the side while Huang Yu looked furious. Mu Qiqi, do you think our Ruoi is not miserable enough? Do you want to add insult to injury? Before Grandpa Shen could say anything, Sun Suyun had already accused Mu Qiqi. Of course, Mu Qiqi was already used to it. Is it my fault if anything goes wrong in your family? Mu Qiqi asked in return. Mu Qiqi, just tell me. Do you know the relationship between Lin Mu-en and Lu Qianqian? What's their relationship? Mu Qiqi asked in return. After all, Lu Qianqian and Lin Mu-en did not do those dirty things that they imagined. Then do you know that Grandpa wants me and Lin Mu-en together? When did Grandpa tell me? Mu Qiqi asked. Look at you. You are pretending to be innocent and you don't know anything. You and Lu Qianqian are good friends. Do you dare to say that you don't know that she and Lin Mu-en are together? Grandpa, Lin Mu-en has been pretending to be busy these few days. He ignored me. But he is getting along well with Lu Qianqian. How can I not suspect Mu Qiqi? Are you kidding me? Lin Mu-en is getting along well with Lu Qianqian. Why are you looking for me? Mu Qiqi was angry. She raised her voice. Yes, Lu Qianqian is my good friend. But why are you so sure that I know about it? Grandpa, you never told me that you want Shen Ruoi and Lin Mu-en to be together. Didn't you? Grandpa Shen nodded. He did not tell Mu Qiqi about it. But he was not feeling well at the moment. He could not say a word. So, no one noticed it. Fine. Even if you don't know anything, you should understand my plan now, right? As a member of the Shen family, shouldn't you do something for the Shen family and let your good friend know her place? Don't disturb other people's happy occasion. First of all, I don't think that you are doing something for the Shen family. You are the one who shamelessly went to someone else's office and embarrassed yourself. Why should everyone help you? Why should others help you to live a happy life? Moreover, Qianqian is the young lady of the Lu family. Her family background is not worse than yours, but she is shameless. She had an abortion when she was 18. What about you? You went to someone else's office and got caught red-handed. How good can you be? Grandpa Shen was angry when he heard them quarreling. Shut up, both of you. How can you two sisters quarrel like this? Grandpa, I don't know what this has to do with me. Why did you call me here in the middle of the night? You should find the reason why my sister is not favored by others. You should not ask me. The Lin family is not stupid. Can't they tell the good from the bad? It is obvious that you are trying to drive a wedge between us. Perhaps you have even told the Lin family about what happened to me in the Xing family. It seems that Sister Ruoi is determined to put the blame on me, isn't it? Mu Qiqi did not argue with Shen Ruoi when she saw how persistent Shen Ruoi was. Anyway, no matter how she explained, the mother and daughter were right. How dare you say that it has nothing to do with you? Fine. I admit it. I am the one who did it. I asked Lin Mu-en to ignore you. I also asked my good sister to provoke Lin Mu-en. So, you have no chance at all. Are you satisfied with this? Grandpa, she admitted it. Shen Ruoi pointed at Mu Qiqi and shouted at Grandpa Shen. Grandpa, yes, I admit it. Not only this time. If there is such a thing in the future, I will interfere. I will tell everyone that the Xing family doesn't want you. Don't you dare. Sun Suyun threatened Mu Qiqi loudly. A bastard is a bastard, slap. No one expected that Mu Qiqi would hit Sun Suyun. If you dare to call me a bastard again, I will let the whole Jianchuan know about your daughter's scandal. Do you believe me? Mu Qiqi, how dare you hit me? If you and your daughter bully me like this again, I will still hit you. Mu Qiqi said fiercely. Isn't it just bullying my father who is lying on the sickbed? Isn't it just bullying me because I didn't grow up in the Shen family? Let me tell you, I, Muchichi, will not tolerate you today. I won't tolerate you in the future. Tsun Suyun was furious. She wanted to slap Muchichi. But, Shenlin grabbed her wrist. Third aunt, you can't hit Chi-Chi. Grandpa, I know that you want to be fair. Because you are not only my grandpa but also the head of the Shen family. But, I have told you before that I will not mistreat myself for the sake of this family. Because, to me, I only cherish those who care about me. Chapter 228. Grandpa Sheng looked at Muchichi, and Muchichi looked back at him with teary eyes. It was the first time that the grandpa and the granddaughter were so tense. I believe you. But, Chi-Chi, you shouldn't have hurt your elders. Grandpa Shen said after a while. His eyes were blurry. That's a different matter. Apologize to your third aunt. She said that I'm a bastard. If she can apologize, I can too. In the past, I was slandered again and again in the Mu family. No one spoke up for me. Everyone hated me. Is everything going to happen again in the Shen family today? Mu Chi-Chi was very determined. She replied in a domineering manner. That's right. Is it my fault that Shen Rui can't win Lin Mu Man's favor? Then, Mu Chi-Chi burst into tears. If you can't accept me, just tell me directly. I'll leave. Why do you have to humiliate me and hurt my heart? Grandpa, is this what you want to see? Shao Qi, Shao Qi. Huang Yu called Mu Chi-Chi. She felt sorry for her. I'm unnecessary. I'll leave now. Then, Mu Chi-Chi turned around and walked toward the gate without hesitation. At that moment, Grandpa Shen stood up from his seat. He said to Shen Rui in front of everyone. Apologize to Chi-Chi. Why should I apologize to her? Shen Rui was not convinced. Because you've wronged her. I didn't. Otherwise, why would Lin Mu and be with Lu Qianqian? Mu Chi-Chi could not bear it anymore. She took out her phone and called Lin Mu and. Then, she said in front of everyone, Lin Mu and, Chi-Chi. Lin Mu and did not know that he had caused such a big commotion in the Shen family when he ignored Shen Rui. Can you tell me why you don't want to see Shen Rui? Lin Mu and could hear the trembling in Mu Chi-Chi's voice. He knew that it was not a simple matter. So, he answered her. Mu Chi-Chi pressed the speaker button. I only treat Rui as my sister. I don't have any other thoughts. So, I think it's necessary for me to let Sister Rui know my attitude. But she thinks that I'm trying to sow discord between you. If I don't like it, then I don't like it. What does it have to do with you? What about Qianqian? Have you been close to her lately? Mu Chi-Chi, don't I even have the right to make friends? I got to know Lu Qianqian because of filming. We have some interactions, and she happens to be your friend. Besides, Lu Qianqian and I are just ordinary friends. But some people think that I asked Qianqian to seduce you, Mu Chi-Chi said into the phone. They think that it's my fault that you ignore her. Isn't this a little funny? What does this have to do with you? If my words and actions have caused any misunderstanding, I will ask my grandfather to come and apologize to you. Thank you, Lin Mu An. After that, Mu Chi-Chi hung up the phone and looked at Shen Rui. On the other hand, Shen Rui looked terrible. You brought this embarrassment upon yourself. With that, she called Xing Xiao. Can you come and pick me up? Hearing Mu Chi-Chi's sad voice, Xing Xiao immediately sat up on the sofa. Wait for me. No one knew who Mu Chi-Chi was calling. But they could hear the sadness in her voice. Huang Yu put her hand on Mu Chi-Chi's shoulder to comfort her. At the same time, she understood Grandpa Shen's predicament. Grandpa Shen knew that Xiao Chi-Chi was disappointed in him. Because he did not stand up for her in time. So, she had to turn her back to him. Now, the truth is right in front of us. Tsun Suyun, Shen Rui, you have wronged Mu Chi-Chi without distinguishing between right and wrong. You have blamed her for all these groundless crimes. What else do you want? Are the two of you clinging on to Chi-Chi? I've told you that she is just an outsider. She will never side with the Shin family. So, what if I wronged her? Can't she take this little punishment? If that's the case, why are you still standing with the Shin family? Get lost. You are the one who should get lost. When the two elders were quarreling, Shinrui cried. I know that I am not as good as your sister in Mu-Chi-Chi's heart. But, you should think for me. Can't you ask Lu Qianqian not to come and make trouble for us? Mu-Chi-Chi did not want to talk to Shinrui at all. She turned her back to the Shin family. In just 15 minutes, Xing Zhao's men came to the Shin family's courtyard. They took Mu-Chi-Chi from Huang Yu's hands. What's wrong? Mu-Chi-Chi did not say anything. Her eyes were red. It's them. Third brother's family said that Mu-Chi-Chi asked Lu Qianqian to seduce Lin Muben. So, Shinrui could not be with Lin Muben. Xing Xiao hugged Mu-Chi-Chi in front of the Shin family. Then, he said to Shinrui, I am the one who told Lin Muben about you. Why? Do you want to settle the score with me? Shinrui was stunned. Everyone in the Shin family was stunned. Grandpa Shen, what did I say? The Shin family can afford to raise Mu-Chi-Chi. If you don't like her, I can take her away. You promised me that you will not let her be bullied in the Shin family. But, how many times have you done that? You and I know what kind of person Shinrui is and what kind of person Sun Suyun is. If you think that your compromise and Mu-Chi-Chi's tolerance can balance the family, then we don't have to stay in the Shin family. But, let me tell all of you, especially Shinrui. If I find out that you bullied Xiaoqi again, I will make sure that you have no place to stay in Jianchuan. I mean what I say. Let's go. Then, Xing Xiao wanted to leave with Mu-Chi-Chi. But, Mu-Chi-Chi shook her head and walked toward Shinrui. Slap. It was another slap. Since I am wrongly accused, I will make sure that it is true. From today onwards, I will ruin your plan. With that, Mu-Chi-Chi followed Xing Xiao, and the two of them soon disappeared from the Shin family's residence. Mu-Chi-Chi asked Xing Xiao to come and pick her up. How sad must she be for her to do that? Grandpa Shen could not say anything at this moment. He felt that there were always so many things happening in the family when Sun Suyun was around. Father. Huang Yu was worried about Grandpa Shen's health. So, she called out to him. But, Grandpa Shen waved his hand and said to Shinrui and her daughter. Both of you should move out. The Shin family will not keep you anymore. Sun Suyun and Shinrui were shocked and they heard that. Grandpa. Chapter 229. Grandpa Shen stood up from the chair. He held his breath and walked at Sun Suyun. Before she could say anything, he slapped her face and shouted hysterically. Get lost. Get lost as far as you can. Then, Grandpa Shen's body fell down. The Shens were so frightened that they came forward to help him. Father, Grandpa. Shinrui wanted to help Grandpa Shen. But Shin Lin pushed her away. Because of you, the Shin family is in a mess. Grandpa has collapsed because of you. Are you happy now? Don't touch Grandpa. Shin Lin, ignore them. Send your grandpa to the hospital. Grandpa Shen wanted to speak for Mu-Chi-Chi. But he could not. Because he had been holding on. He was heartbroken when he saw what happened. He knew that Mu-Chi-Chi was disappointed in him. But he did not want Sun Suyun to hold Xiaoqi's weakness against her. Mu-Chi-Chi even hit him. Chi-Chi. Grandpa Shen kept calling Mu-Chi-Chi's name when he was unconscious. Huang Yu was helpless. So, she called Mu-Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi, I know you are angry with your grandpa. But he has fainted. He is on the way to the hospital. Come and see him. Because of the phone call, Xing Xiao suddenly changed his route home. Grandpa Shen was sent to the hospital for emergency treatment. The doctor checked him and knew that he was hurt. How can you make an old man so emotional? Normal people should not be able to take it. Are you trying to kill him? Fortunately, Grandpa Shen's life was not in danger. But he still did not wake up. After a while, Mu Chi-Chi arrived at the ward. She felt bad when she saw Grandpa Shen lying on the bed. Chi-Chi, actually, Grandpa loves you. But the doctor said that he has not recovered from his cold. There is inflammation in his lungs. It has not happened yet. He is feeling very uncomfortable. After you left, Dad slapped Sun Suyin hard. Then, he asked them to leave the Shen family. He loves you. Don't be angry with him. Mu Chi-Chi walked to Grandpa Shen's bed and shook her head. I am not angry with him. Dad is old. There are many things that he can't do. He just wants you to be well. Mu Chi-Chi held the old man's hand. She understood that it was a lose-lose night. No one had the upper hand. Especially when Grandpa Shen was hospitalized. Mu Chi-Chi took a deep breath. She took a long time to calm down. You must be tired today. Go back and rest. Shen Lin will take care of your grandfather. He will tell your grandfather that you are not angry with him. Late at night, Huang Yu patted Mu Chi-Chi's shoulder and comforted her. Don't think too much. Rest well. Mu Chi-Chi got up from the chair and went home with Xing Xiao. But on the way home, she did not say a word. Xiao Xiao, Mu Chi-Chi. Dawn. Shen, Sheng, Sheng. Xing Xiao ran all the way with her. He was still angry about how she had been wrong just now. Because the moment he received Mu Chi-Chi's call, Mu Chi-Chi's aggrieved tone was still in his heart. He could not forget it no matter how hard he tried. This little one had been with him for a long time. She had never felt so wronged. But tonight, he heard it again. His heart felt like it was rolling in a pan of oil. The feeling of being tightly gripped was really torturous. So, just now, he ran red lights all the way. Mu Chi-Chi did not say anything. It was not worth it for them. So, she hugged Xing Xiao's arm. Everything was the same when they reached home. Because she believed that the mother and the daughter would be punished by God. Sun Suyin was still in a state of disbelief. Grandpa Shen had told her and Shen Ruoyi to move out of the Shen family. Although Elder Sheng had collapsed, he was serious about what he said. Mom, why are you still here? Shen Ruoyi asked Sun Suyin while holding the suitcase. Didn't you hear what Grandpa said? Ruoyi, your grandpa asked us to move out. Are we going to move out? Sun Suyin grabbed Shen Ruoyi's shoulder and shook it. I'm not leaving. I'm a part of the Shen family. But Grandpa is serious. We still have to leave when he comes back. No, I'm not leaving. I'll wait for him to come back. I beg him. I beg him not to let us wander outside alone. Sun Suyin cried. I didn't expect that your grandpa would chase us away because of that bastard. Mom, maybe we've gone too far. Shen Ruoyi regretted. It seems that Mu Chi-Chi has nothing to do with this. We've suffered a great loss now. Grandpa will never trust us anymore. Humph. I want to stay. I haven't found out the secret of that little B*TCH. I'll stay until then. So, the mother and daughter were shameless. They did not listen to Grandpa Shen's order. But they still had Shen Lin in the family. After they came back from the hospital, Shen Lin threw Shen Ruoyi and Sun Suyin's belongings out of the Shen family. Shen Lin, have you been bewitched by that little B*TCH? How could you do this to me? Grandpa asked you to get out of the Shen family. Shen Lin did not just throw their luggage out. He even kicked them out of the Shen family. Because of you, the Shen family will never be peaceful again. Why don't you say that it's because of that little B*TCH? I'll sew your mouth shut if you dare to say anything bad about Mu Chi-Chi again. Get lost. After that, Shenlin closed the main door of the Shen family and asked the guards at the door not to let them in. Sun Suyun did not expect that she would be thrown out of the Shen family. She was furious. But she could not do anything to Shenlin. "Mom, let's find a hotel nearby and wait for Dad to come back." Shenrui helped Sun Suyun up. "Just you wait. I'll come back sooner or later. By then, I'll cut Muchichi into pieces." Moreover, she had just found out Muchichi's secret. How could she give up? But Lin Mu-en and Lu Qianqian felt bad about what happened in the Shen family, although it had nothing to do with them. But the Lin family came to Grandpa Shen's house early in the morning to apologize. "Brother Shen, I'm sorry. I've made you suffer." Grandpa Lin apologized to his best friend. "It's all my fault. She didn't do a good job. That's why it's a disaster." Mu-en, come and apologize to Grandpa Shen. "Grandpa Shen, it's my fault." "It's not your fault." Grandpa Shen waved his hand. "But, how did you know that girl from the Lu family?" Chapter 230. Grandpa, you've always taught me that I can't deny a person's entire life just because he made one mistake. Moreover, Lu Qianqian is not a heinous person. Could it be that we can't even have normal contact because of her bad reputation? You are just like Muchichi. Young people are not as rigid as us. Grandpa Shen stood up and spoke for Lin Mu-en. "Since Grandpa Shen is speaking for you, I will forgive you for now. But you must know your place. It's better for you to stay away from a girl like Lu Qianqian." "Grandpa, I know what I'm doing." Grandpa Lin snorted. This matter was over. But he still felt sorry for Shenrui. It's such a pity for Rui. Grandpa Lin was not thinking about Shenrui. He was thinking about Muchichi. How could she trust him after she hurt Muchichi's feelings yesterday? "Grandpa Shen, let's forget about the matter between Mu-en and Rui since the two of them quarreled with each other." Grandpa Shen nodded. "I understand. You can't force a relationship. It's the children's business. Let them deal with it themselves." "You're right." Lin Mu-en heaved a sigh of relief. But at the same time, he felt uncomfortable. In the eyes of the older generation, murder and arson were not as dirty as a girl getting pregnant and having a miscarriage. They would think that the girl was not a good girl. But to him, it was just a little chilly who met the wrong person. That was all. After Old Master Lin and Lin Mu-en left, Huang Yu sat by the bed and told Grandpa Shen, "Shenlin threw the mother and daughter out of the Shen family." "Dad, I know what you said in a fit of anger yesterday might not be true, but Shenlin, it's good that he threw them out." Unexpectedly, Grandpa Shen agreed with Shenlin's action. If we don't teach them a lesson, they will always be so shameless. They won't give up on Muchichi. Muchichi was wronged yesterday. She must be very sad. But she still came to see you when I called her. Although she was sad, she was not angry at you. I'm sorry for the child. I'm sorry for Boss. Grandpa Shen sat on the bed and grabbed the quilt tightly. He could not let go of his feelings. When he thought about it, he hated Sun Suyun even more. Chi-Chi will understand. She can also tell that eighth brother cares about this child very much. Grandpa Shen did not say anything. It was exactly what he was worried about. Shen Jianchuan was indeed the person who knew him the best. Shenrui did not even have the chance to get close to Xing Xiao in the past, but she was so infatuated with him. Chi-Chi had spent so much time with Xing Xiao. How did she feel about Xing Xiao? However, Grandpa Shen did not say it out loud. Shenrui and Sun Suyun had to stay in a nearby hotel for the night because they were chased out of the house. When third elder of the Shen family came back from a business trip, he found out that his wife and daughter had been chased out of the house. Of course, he was angry. Even if they were in the wrong, they were still a family. Was there a need to be so cruel? Third brother Shen went straight to the hotel and put his wife and daughter's luggage in the car. Let's go home. Dad, we were kicked out by Grandpa. You are my family. Who dares to chase you out? Come with me to the hospital. After that, third brother Shen brought his wife and daughter to the hospital. Then, he went to Grandpa Shen's ward. You stand here. I will go in. Third brother Shen stopped his wife and daughter outside the ward. After he entered the ward, he questioned Grandpa Shen. Dad, I did not come back for one night. Why did my wife and daughter get chased out of the Shen family? Third brother, Dad has just recovered. Don't be angry at him. Huang Yu immediately said to third brother Shen. I cannot be angry at you, Dad. But I will bring Rui and Suyin home now. Is it necessary for our family to end up like this? Dad, you're forcing me to be enemies with Muchichi. Grandpa Shen pointed at third brother and said, you should move out too. Dad, who asked you not to take care of your wife and daughter? You are taking advantage of my old age to do whatever you want in the Shen family. You accuse this person and provoke that person. Do you want me to die? Grandpa Shen was ruthless. He said the toughest words. Either you stay and they go, or the three of you get lost. Dad, I will discipline them. Please give us another chance. If they really do it again, it won't be too late for you to kick us out. Just for Ruoi's sake, you can't let your granddaughter wander outside, can you? You wanted to bring Muchichi back because you don't want the bloodline of the Shen family to wander outside, right? Grandpa Shen remained silent for a while. Finally, he said, it is not impossible for them to come back. But, the mother and daughter must apologize to Muchichi in front of her. They must promise that they will not do it again. Otherwise, there is nothing to talk about. All right. I will ask them to apologize to Muchichi. In front of me. It's a deal. Third brother Shen had no choice but to leave the ward with Grandpa Shen's condition. He told the mother and daughter about it. But, such a condition was worse than letting Sun Suyin die. Last night, Muchichi had slapped both mother and daughter in a row. I would rather die than bow down to this B*****. Just bear with it for now. You can find a chance to teach her a lesson in the future. Do you want to wander outside? Sun Suyin thought for a while. She suppressed her disgust and nodded. I will bear with her this time. It was because she and Shinrui had found the place where Muchichi was fooling around with other men. Once they got the evidence, she would ask Muchichi to kneel down in front of Grandpa Shen. Rui, what do you say? Third brother Shen asked his daughter. I will listen to you. She did not have the temper to live outside. Moreover, it would be difficult to deal with Muchichi after she left the Shen family. If that's the case, find a time to apologize to Muchichi personally. Moreover, the two of you should behave yourselves from now on. Don't pick on Muchichi in front of Dad. You know very well that she is his favorite. Humph. Sun Suyin snorted. What favorite? If Grandpa Shen knows about Muchichi's true colors, I'm afraid he will stab his own eyes. You can say it when you get the evidence. Otherwise, you will suffer in silence like what happened yesterday. Just wait and see. Chapter 231. Actually, Muchichi knew very well that it was almost impossible to drive the mother and daughter out of the house after what happened last night. After all, they did not do anything wrong. Moreover, Grandpa was still angry. But for the mother and daughter to lower themselves, to apologize to her, she felt that she could accept it. Because it had nothing to do with her. So, she replied Huang Yu. I will come over after class. Then, Muchichi sent a message to Xing Xiao. She told him that she would go to the hospital after class. Xing Xiao did not say anything else. He only said, don't let me hear your sad voice again. I will lose control. She saw Xing Xiao losing his temper last night. But she did not want him to lose control again. I will not show any mercy to the mother and daughter. You better. Mu Qiqi's sad voice last night kept replaying in Xing Zhao's mind. When he thought of it, he wanted to take out his gun and kill her. How would you feel if a few pieces of trash touched something that you treasured so much? Mu Qiqi smiled and pocketed her phone. His loss of control last night had made her realize even more deeply how deep his feelings for her were. In the past, she always thought that she had given more feelings to him. But, when she thought of Xing Zhao's anxious expression last night, she suddenly felt that she was too stupid and naive. After the incident with Shen Rui, Lin Mu and still texted Lu Qianqian as usual. But, Lu Qianqian ignored him. TSK. Did I offend you, little pepper? Lu Qianqian read the message. But, she did not reply. Because she could imagine what kind of words they would say when she was mentioned. She was a delinquent. Shameless. She should stay away from her. Because of that, when Mu Qiqi did not care about what others thought of her and still treated her as a good friend, she swore that no man would be able to replace Mu Qiqi in her heart. She could not have a man. But, she must not let her friend down. Lin Mu and looked at his phone and did not reply. Actually, he could guess the answer. They were all adults. They did not need to be so naive. Because many problems were very practical. Since they were people from two different worlds, there was no need to forcefully link them together. What was the point of adding unnecessary harm? Of course, Lu Qianqian had also considered Lin Mu An's suggestion that day. Since she could no longer go abroad, she should take on the responsibility of the family. So, Lu Qianqian took the initiative to tell Papa Lu, "Dad, I will learn how to do business from you in the future." Pleased, Papa Lu smiled lovingly at Lu Qianqian. "No matter what outsiders think of my daughter, I will always be proud of you. Dad, don't worry. I won't let you down." Because no one could rely on their youth to constantly make mistakes and not grow. Soon, the sun set in the west, and the blood-red rays of the setting sun were reflected on the tall buildings of the hospital. At that moment, Mu Qiqi was already at the door of Grandpa Xing's ward with a medical book in her hand. "Qiqi, you're here. Come in." Huang Yu saw Mu Qiqi through the crack in the door and quickly said to her. Mu Qiqi pushed the door open and saw Grandpa Shen lying on the bed. Sun Suyun and Shen Rui were standing beside the bed. It seemed that they were ready to apologize. "Shao Qi, Grandpa." Mu Qiqi put down the book and sat beside Grandpa Sheng. "Where's the one who should apologize?" Grandpa Sheng did not turn his head. But, he was hinting at Sun Suyun and Shen Rui. Sun Suyun took a deep breath. Although she was not happy, she could only endure it. She looked at Shen Rui and turned her body slightly to look at Mu Qiqi. "Qiqi, it's my fault last night. I wronged you. I hope you won't take it to heart." "I'm sorry." "Qiqi, I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have wronged you. I won't do it again. Please forgive us." It was a very stiff sentence. It was as if she had memorized her lines beforehand. It did not sound like she was apologizing sincerely. Of course, Mu Qiqi did not look at them. She lowered her head and said, "You're just afraid of being chased out of the house. So, you had to endure it this time. It doesn't matter whether I forgive you or not." "What do you mean by it won't happen again?" "Only you believe it when you say it." "But, I have to respect Grandpa. I won't pursue it anymore. But, if it happens again, I won't be polite. There won't be a next time." Sun Suyun smiled apologetically. But, she kept reminding herself to endure it. Anyway, this little bitch would not be arrogant for long. "Qiqi, trust me. I'll discipline them well." Shen Qianqian quickly promised her. "Otherwise, I won't have the face to see Dad anymore. Since you've apologized, get out of here. Qiqi and I don't want to see you anymore." Grandpa Shen held Mu Qiqi's hand and said to Shen Qianqian and his family. Shin Qianqian did not say anything else. He left the ward with his wife and daughter. When they were at a place where the Shins could not see them, Shin Qianqian said, "Let's move back now. We don't want Muchichi to play tricks on us and make Grandpa Shin change his mind." In the ward, Chi-Chi, Shin Qianqian and his family are like this. "I'm sorry that you've been wronged. Why do you have to be hospitalized because of anger? Is it just to make me feel bad?" Muchichi's eyes were red. "You shouldn't be so agitated no matter how I fight with the Shin family. You're already so old. Why are you still getting involved? Are you trying to make me feel guilty?" Grandpa Shin's hands were trembling. He patted Muchichi's head. "I didn't dote on you for nothing." Shin Qianqian and his family only cared if they would be chased out of the house when they saw him hospitalized. They were worried that they would get nothing. But Xiao Qi was different. She was really concerned about his health. Chapter 232. Sun Suyun arranged for someone to follow Muchichi from the school to the new house. She wanted to wait for the wild man to show up. She thought that Sun Suyun and Shinruoi would restrain themselves after being taught a lesson. But she had underestimated their determination to deal with her. "The tutor I hired for you will come to your house to tutor you from tomorrow onwards." Xing Xiao took the chance to tell her when they were at home. "The security guard at the door will help you." The security guard thought that the tutor was Muchichi's man. He pointed him out to Sun Suyun and asked her to take a photo. He thought that the tutor was the man who lived with Muchichi. Then, the tutor would come to her house to tutor her at a fixed time every day. Sun Suyun thought that the tutor would come home at the same time every day. Then, she would bring Grandpa Shen to catch them in the act. As for Jing Yun, he blocked the identity of the tutor so that Sun Suyun would not be able to find out his background. Then, he arranged for another child to tutor Muchichi every day. So, it would not be difficult for a man and a woman to talk to each other. If Sun Suyun dared to tell Grandpa Shen about it, she would be kicked out of the Shen family. As for the information of the villa, Xing Xiao had temporarily transferred it to Lu Wenhua's name so that he could deal with Grandpa Shen's investigation. The security guard at the entrance of the villa would cooperate with him. Sun Suyun and Shinruoi would bring Grandpa Shen to their house. Everything was ready. Sun Suyun also got the man's photo. Not only that, she also got a photo of Muchichi and the man walking out of the villa together. Sun Suyun thought that she would not take action immediately. She wanted to investigate the man's background first. She wanted to give Muchichi a fatal blow. She wanted Muchichi to never be able to make a comeback in front of Grandpa Shen. But she could not find anything. And because she could not find anything about the man, Sun Suyun became even more suspicious. The more he did not want others to know about it, the more suspicious it would be. 2 days later, Grandpa Shen was discharged from the hospital. Sun Suyun and Shinruoi quietly went to the hospital to fetch Grandpa Shen. But they did not say a word during the whole process. It seemed that they had learned their lesson. But they were plotting something behind their backs. Muchichi knew what the mother and daughter were planning, and was waiting for them to make their move. But this time, the mother and daughter managed to keep their composure. Grandpa Shen also found it strange. With Sun Suyun's personality, how could she not cry or make a fuss? One could imagine how big of a secret was hidden behind her current silence. On the night when Grandpa Shen returned to the Shen family, he told Shinruoi directly at the dining table, "Old Lin came to me personally and told me about the matter between you and Lin Muhan. Just let it go. That guy doesn't like you. You can't force him." "Yes, Grandpa." Shinruoi was calm. Grandpa Shen stole a glance at Sun Suyun and realized that she did not say a word. "Why aren't you speaking when it's your turn to speak? I have talked to Ruoi about this a long time ago. We are not going to marry into the Lin family." Sun Suyun appeared to be calm, but she was actually panicking. I hope that you really want to understand and not do some dirty tricks behind my back. Grandpa Shen reminded him while he was eating. Third brother, don't forget what you promised me. If this mother and daughter cause trouble in the Shen family again, please get out of the Shen family. I have accepted it. Even without you, I still have eldest brother, second brother, and youngest brother. Third brother looked at his wife and daughter and nodded. Don't worry, father. Because he could feel that Grandpa Shen was not willing to put his energy on the mother and daughter anymore. He was completely disappointed. Sun Suyun did not say anything. But she felt upset. She obviously hated Mu Chichi to the core. Shen Rui wanted to tell Grandpa Shen what kind of person Mu Chichi was. But Sun Suyun stopped her. It's not the right time yet. Let's wait for Grandpa Shen to calm down first. I'm afraid that Mu Chichi will notice it. We can't do that. Didn't you hear what Grandpa Shen said? If we cause trouble again, he will drive me out. We will do it when he is in a better mood. Shen Rui was very angry. She was filled with hatred when she thought about how she slapped her that night and how she spoke to Mu Chichi in the hospital. And Lin Mu An. How could he choose a pair of used shoes instead of her, a pure and innocent young lady? She felt terrible when she thought about the humiliation. She needed to find a stronger backer so that those who had humiliated her would all regret it. These few days, Lin Mu An tried to tease Lu Qianqian with words. But she did not respond to him. Was this little pepper really angry? Did she not want to play with him anymore? Lin Mu An felt that he should give up now. Lu Qianqian's attitude was very obvious. So, there was nothing else he could do. He could only lose a friend. The filming of Reuniting the Mirror was ready. But the producer told him that the person who replaced Lu Qianqian was not going to act in the role. So, they had to find another actor. Lin Mu An wanted Lu Qianqian to act in the role again. But, according to Lu Qianqian's character, she would not return. She would not accept his invitation. After thinking about it, Lin Mu An felt strange. Why did he always try to get involved with Lu Qianqian? It was not a good sign. Then, Lin Mu An deleted Lu Qianqian's number from his phone. It was not fun to play such a dangerous game. Actually, after Lu Qianqian agreed to be Papa Lu's successor, she had to start training as a private tutor. To her, Lin Mu An was just a person she knew among thousands of people. Moreover, she had her pride. Even if she had an abortion and her reputation was ruined, she would not throw herself at a man. These few days, Grandpa Shen was thinking about changing Mu Chichi's surname. It was because Sun Suyun kept saying that Mu Chichi did not have the same surname. He also wanted Mu Chichi to return to the family. So, Grandpa Shen discussed it with the Shen family at the dining table. Shen Jinyun and his family did not have any objection. They felt that it was reasonable. But, Sun Suyun and the others had different opinions. If they changed Mu Chichi's surname, it seemed that Shen Rui would have to give way to Mu Chichi from now on. She would have to give up her position as the eldest daughter of the Shen family. So, Sun Suyun did not look happy. But, she held it in. Chapter 233. I don't mind. Sun Suyun quickly expressed her attitude. Although you don't mind, I don't think so. Dad, I can't do anything if you say so. Sun Suyun took the opportunity to leave the dining table. She had not found a chance yet. If she found one, she would let everyone see how shameless and audacious Mu Chichi was in the outside world. Dad, Suyun did not say anything. Moreover, you don't have to be so aggressive just because of Mu Chichi. Shen Qianqian could not stand it anymore. He put down the bowl that he just picked up. This is my home. I can force whoever I want. Shen Qianqian had no choice but to leave the table. He could not stay in the house anymore because of the current atmosphere. When Shen Qianqian returned to his room, Sun Suyun was wiping her tears. She cried even harder when she saw her husband. What does your father mean? Since he asked us to come back, he treated us with such an attitude. Is he trying to force us to leave so that Muchichi can come in openly? Isn't he still angry? Does your father know what Muchichi has done outside? Tsun Suyun asked Shin Qianqian loudly. Lower your voice. Do you really want to be kicked out of the Shin family? Tsun Suyun stopped talking. She could not stand it anymore. She wanted Muchichi to die a horrible death tomorrow. She did not believe that Grandpa Shin would remain indifferent when he saw Muchichi's debauchery. So, she had to hold it in for the time being. Muchichi had been waiting for Tsun Suyun to make a move. But this time, Tsun Suyun was really patient. She was the one who lost her patience. Xing Xiao saw that Muchichi was restless at home. So, he held her butt and spanked her. Are you still itchy now? Muchichi covered her butt and looked at Xing Xiao sadly. Xiao Xiao, I will be very anxious if I don't let this matter go. Shin Jianchuan was right. Grandpa must be suspicious about her relationship with Xiao Xiao. He just did not want to believe it or prove it. She wanted Tsun Suyun to jump into the trap as soon as possible so that Grandpa Shin would be at ease. My mom asked me to take you to Xing Mansion. Do you want to go? However, Xing Xiao did not answer her about Tsun Suyun. Instead, he threw another bomb at her. Meeting the Xing family? Muchichi promptly straightened up from the sofa and stared at Xing Xiao. I don't think I'm ready. I don't know the Xing family at all, and there are so many people in your family. Xing Xiao chuckled when he saw how nervous she was. You'll have to go in sooner or later, and since it's my mother's arrangement, you won't meet too many Xings. It's just that she wants to go to the resort and find someone to play with. Since you're so nervous, I'll ask Jing Yun to reject her. But will she be unhappy? You're busy with your studies. That's the best excuse. With that, Xing Xiao stroked Muchichi's hair to comfort her. This little one was nervous at the mention of the Xing family. It seemed that the Xing family was giving her a lot of pressure. They remained silent for a long time. Then, Muchichi raised her head and looked at Xing Xiao. I'm a coward, aren't I? Xing Xiao did not say anything. He hooked his arm around her neck and pulled her closer to him. Then, he kissed her. An ugly daughter-in-law will have to meet her in-laws sooner or later, but the chances of your family acknowledging our relationship is only 1 in 100,000. Muchichi retorted. If that's the case, do you still want to be with me? Xing Xiao raised his eyebrows. I won't leave you. Xing Xiao could not bear to tease her anymore. He pressed her head into his arms. I don't need anyone's permission to be with you. Muchichi could not help but smile when she heard that. She felt so sweet in her heart. In order to make the plan go smoothly tomorrow, Tsun Suyun tossed and turned in bed for the whole night. She could not sleep well. It was because it was a life-and-death battle for her and Shinrui. If Muchichi did not die, they would die. To ensure that Grandpa Shin would catch Muchichi and that man together, Tsun Suyun asked the student to wait outside the villa. Once the man was back, she would send a text message to the Shin family and inform them to go and watch the show. If you want to see Muchichi's real face, go to XX Place, XX Villa. The show is going on. Everyone in the Shin family received the text message, including Shinrui and Tsun Suyun. Father. I suddenly received this. Huang Yu rushed to the study room and looked for Grandpa Shin. Grandpa, I received it too. Shen Lin passed the text message to Grandpa Shin. Grandpa Shin's face darkened. He immediately thought of Tsun Suyun and her mother. But they received the text message too. Tsun Suyun, have you forgotten what I told you before? You are stirring up trouble again. Father, I received the same text message too. Don't accuse me without any reason. Isn't it the same as how we wronged Muchichi the other day? I don't know who sent it. Tsun Suyun explained immediately. If someone did not do it on purpose, how could they know our phone number? How would I know? I received it too. Father, I think we should go and have a look at this place first. Huang Yu stopped Grandpa Shen from quarreling with Sun Suyun. She was afraid that Grandpa Shen would fall sick again. Moreover, we have to see Mu Chichi first before we can verify what is going on. The old man snorted loudly. The intimate photos of Mu Chichi and the man in the mobile phone were very obvious. This kind of bait was good enough. Huang Yu, arrange a car immediately. We'll go and take a look at Chichi now. Grandpa Shen said to Huang Yu. Then, he turned around. But, if this is just a rumor, then no matter who did it, I'll put the blame on you. Grandpa Shen pointed at Sun Suyun and said. But, if you're trying to stir up trouble again, then no matter who did it, I'll put the blame on you. Sun Suyun and Shen Ruoyi looked at each other. As long as they could lure Grandpa Shen to find out Mu Chichi's real face, they would be successful. She did not believe that Grandpa Shen would still have the mood to trouble her when he knew that he was fooled by Mu Chichi. Huang Yu looked at Sun Suyun meaningfully. It was too obvious. She did not believe that the mother and daughter were innocent. But, she believed in Mu Chichi's character. She wanted to see the mother and daughter being chased out of the Shen family once again. Therefore, the group of people, each with their own thoughts, set off towards the villa in a grandiose manner. You're tuning in to the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.